Yeah.
Assisted by Bill Evans, Dustin South, Glenn Strachan, Matt Brown, Josh Johnston, Bob Vokes, and Mike Lewis.
Shall I call him? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a Whale TV exclusive. It is the final home game of the 2008 regular season. It's Lynden and Anacortes as the Lions look to cement their position for postseason dominance once again. They've got to get through the Seahawks, who are going to be reluctant to fall over in their final home game of the season. Senior night in Anacortes is what awaits you. We have a great opportunity to check out 16 seniors as they exit in their final home game of the season. Cody Addison, he'll get one more chance to go ahead and start in front of this hometown crowd at quarterback while the team tries to rebuild and bounce back from a rough second half finish against a pesky and feisty Squalicum Storm team. Now, to all of you joining us online right now as well, as long as our AM partners through AM 1340, welcome in. This is, along with Whale TV, an opportunity to check out the final Anacortes Seahawk game of the season. As we mentioned, it's against Lynden, who, reputation beside itself, this team is going to be extremely difficult to mess with tonight. The Lions, offensively, I was looking at their numbers and trying to come up with a scenario that leads you to select one player, one Lynden Lion player that you can stand on above the rest and say, hey, this is the reason why they're winning. But honestly, it's almost like trying to convince you of an exclusive Caribbean island destination over the others. There's just so many opportunities, so many choices to select from this team. If it's Gaylord, if it's Hastings, if it's Bomber, if it's Cito, these guys are just stacked all the way around, and that's what's probably the most difficult topic to breach tonight, and that is just trying to figure out if you're able to stop Hastings, if you're able to stop Bomber or Gaylord, then can you now expect a victory? And that's not the case that the Seahawks are faced with tonight. Lynden is so top to bottom stacked at so many positions. That's why they are 5-0 in conference play, 5-0 in two-way play with their only conference loss to a Ferndale team that, of course, steamrolled past all of their opponents. And that's why, top to bottom, this Lion team could be the most difficult opponent the Seahawks have faced all year. Now, of course, Burlington, they're waving their hands up and down saying, come on, guys, we took care of you in Burlington at Kirkby Field, and that is why it is also important to note that next week, if Lynden can get past Anacortes, that would be their next opportunity. And as fate would have it, two undefeated 2A teams likely going at it as Burlington and Lynden would meet next week. Tigers, they got to get past a pesky Mount Baker team, and of course Lynden still has to get through Anacortes tonight. But that is probably the biggest challenge that Kurt Kramey and Bruce Shear are facing tonight, is how do you overlook your opponents? Now, Kurt Kramey earlier in the week talking about this game still stated that it's a road matchup. You're traveling 90 minutes south into War Memorial. Anything can happen, and that is, of course, the motto that Anacortes is going to try to cherish tonight as they look to come up with a surprise season. As we mentioned last week, Hawks had a great chance, leading 10-0. Fourth quarter came around, but then that injury bug bit the Hawks again. It's been a reoccurring theme. Quarterback Chris Stoneham, who, can you believe it? Even though he's left 4 games this season, even though this will be the 3rd game he's missed, he's still top 15 in the conference in rushing. Quarterback went for 92 yards in 2.5 quarters last week, but alas, he left due to a high ankle injury suffered on a punt return. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. So the Hawks will turn to senior Cody Addison. He's had a rough go of it. Last 3 weeks, throwing for about 30-yard game. His completion percentage is down to 22% in the last 3 games, and he's thrown 9 interceptions to 0 touchdowns. So Addison, he's had a tough time finding his receivers. His passes have started to sail on him, which is so uncharacteristic for number 16. His first 3 games, he was throwing at a 55% mark and was having no problem finding Alec Mavar, Mark Medallion, Wyatt Zolman. However, that's changed the last 3 games, and the Hawks need to find a way to get their senior leader back in the flow so he can go and make sure that those percentages and those completions increase. If not, he's got a lot of hungry defenders ready to take the ball away at Lynden all season long. They have been quite aggressive at becoming turnover happy and being very, very aggressive in the defensive game. We're moments away from kickoff, and we'll make sure you are there side by side as we have a chance to bring you Lynden and Anacortes. This is KWLA 1340's coverage of the Anacortes Seahawks boys football team. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
The colors will be presented tonight by the Boy Scouts of America, Troop 4084 of Anacortes.
Your walls are your canvas. Your life is your inspiration. And your paint is Benjamin Moore. Benjamin Moore Paints, the backdrop to your life.
Benjamin Moore Paints, nowadays hardware here in Anacortes, 1720 Q Avenue.
When you laid your course for a secure financial future, you hoped for smooth sailing. But now we're getting storm watches and small craft advisories. I'm Duncan Frazier of Anacortes Financial Associates. Our team of independent, fee-based professionals is dedicated to helping people identify and implement sensible financial strategies. When you're headed into unfamiliar waters, it's good to have someone to help you stay on course. Give us a call. Our home port is downtown Anacortes.
Security is offered through NPC member FINRA SIPC. Anacortes Financial Associates and NPC are separate and unrelated companies.
El Jinete Mexican Restaurant in Anacortes has been family run for over 20 years. That's why we take pride in supporting high school football. Our authentic food is prepared with only the freshest of ingredients. From tasty tostadas to delicious enchiladas, you'll find something to love on our menu. Enjoy the best margaritas in town, along with a full-service premium bar. El Jinete. Our name may be hard to remember, but you'll never forget our delicious Mexican food. El Jinete, 509 Commercial Avenue, next to the post office in Anacortes.
Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation offers rehab programs at its location in the Cannery Building near the Seafarers Building in Anacortes. Whether you're recovering from a back injury or stroke, whether in need of speech therapy, occupational therapy, or sports rehab, we're here to help. Call 299-1328. Our staff has more than 200 years of combined experience to get you back to your active life. Visit Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at our beachfront location or call 299-1328.
Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has proudly served the North Sound region for nearly 20 years. But we've never been more excited than right now. That's because now we are Green Built certified, which means our high-efficiency on-demand water heaters, dual flush toilets, geothermal heat pumps, solar hot water, and PV panels, plus wind turbines all enable us to redefine our tradition of quality, value, and energy savings. Thinking green is thinking Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Cedro Woolley.
Moments away from kickoff. It is Anacortes and Lynden. As those of you are checking out online at 1340theway.com, we've got you all access to War Memorial tonight through Whale TV, and we're expecting a very competitive game. Schedule and the records may not indicate that we expect a close one tonight, but Anacortes, man, they have been resilient, they have been tough, and they've been tenacious at home this season. And with the opportunity they have to end the season with one final shot to impress their hometown crowd, you cannot discount the amount of intensity and effort we could see from these young men tonight. As we mentioned, a lot of the pressure and a lot of the expectations are falling onto number 16's shoulders tonight. Cody Addison, rough 3-game patch. Very uncharacteristic for the young man. We expect him to bounce back tonight. Now, it's not going to be easy. Lynden all season long, boy, have they been difficult. On the season, they're beating their opponents by a score of about 28-15, but you discount that 41-6 lopsided loss to Ferndale. And hey, we've done that for every team that's played Ferndale this season, because outside of Cedro Woolley last week, nobody has come within 30 points of the Golden Eagles. This is a Lion team that's coming up with wins by a margin of 31-12. They have just been rolling over their opponents in 2A play. And with that talented offense that they bring and that power running formation that all 225 pounds of David Gaylord that he will bring behind a very sizable offensive line, you know that the Seahawks are going to be challenged. However, one thing that we will look for tonight is how that Hawk defense bounces back in the passing game. We're underway from War Memorial as the opening kick bounces off of Corinza Farrell's shoulder pads. Out of bounds, the Hawks will start over at the 22-yard line. No surprise, as Anacortes will get an opportunity to strike first. This has been a reoccurring theme all season long. Anacortes wants to come away with possession first and see if their offense can get into rhythm. Happened last week, a 39-yard run by Chris Stoneham, eventual 5-yard run into the end zone. Gave the Hawks 6 points and an early 7-0 lead. They'll have to do it without their jubilant junior tonight. Stoneham done for the season. Cody Addison, welcome to the spotlight. 1st and 10, Addison trying to go short. He's going to go long. To Alec Maybar, he's found him to the 48-yard line. Mavar, the last 4 games, has struggled to come up with any reception over 9 yards, but Addison lets it fly on the first play of the game. Mavar into double coverage, takes the hit at the 45, spins to the ground at the 47, and a 30. Lynden staggering and slumping back, surprised that on the first play, Hawks are looking deep, and they come up with a big completion. Addison going short, gets it to Zolman's hands. He's taken down into Lynden territory as Taylor Creighton gets his first tackle of the night. That means number 53, just 6 tackles shy of breaking the all-time Lion record in tackles over his career. Zolman got past the 50, playing smart as Creighton along with Colin Burke makes the hit. It's 2nd and 6, 40 seconds in. Hawks in business. Farrell near side along with Medallia, audibly at the line of scrimmage. A base D stand spot as the first run of the game will go to Wyatt Hendricks. He gets just past the 45-yard line, gain of 3 or 4 is Wyatt in a familiar role, taking the football. He does linebacker, kick return, and the occasional spot duty at running back. You can expect to see him along with Shane Phipps and maybe some Landon Macy tonight for the Hawks at running back. A minute 15 into this opening quarter. It is 3rd and 3. Hawks out of the shotgun. Lynden not pressuring, looking to pass his Addison far side, trying to get a Medallia, and the timing was a little off, incomplete.
That's intended for Mark Medallia.
Mark came in as the ball was still sailing high, and the Hawks are faced with the first 4th down of the game. Probably a no-brainer at this point, trying to capitalize on the early momentum created by that 30-yard strike to Mavar. Hawks are going to go for it. You almost want to give the Hawks credit for getting it into Lynden's field possession on the first possession of the game, but they want more. 4th down, going for it. Medallia short at the 42. Looks like he should have enough. The spot is at the 41. They needed 3. They get 4.
Close to a first down.
Anacortes marching into Lynden Lion territory and capitalizing on a 4th down, finding Mark Medallia. He's got the most receptions of any tight end on this team, and he's played in the least amount of games. Hawks playing it safe on 4th down and rolling out with Addison. That has not been his strength. Cody in motion has led to some scares, but boy, did he look good on that play. Addison on 1st down trying to skip it over to Hendricks. He's got wide at the 45, down to the 40. Addison, hard hit, but he rolls to the 35, gain of 6. This Seahawk team looks crisp. They look in precision. Addison took his time, just tossed it over to Wyatt, and look at the amount of room Wyatt Hendricks has with Dietzman blocking for him up ahead. Tripped up after a gain of 6, 9:50 to go, no score. Seahawks down to the 36-yard line. Rolling to his right, plenty of time, going back across the field to Mavar. Oh, what a punishing hit as Mavar is drilled. Welcome to the hit show. A little misdirection in the air. Addison trying to go to Phipps, actually. Shane laid out, but
3rd down and 4.
the timing was not to his advantage as the Seahawk running back pays the price on that one. 9:41 to go. 3rd and 4. Faking the handoff, going to Medallia. Mark's got a little bit of steam ahead of him. He'll tumble forward to the 34, maybe the 33-yard line. It'll be 4th down, but not by a lot.
4th down and 2, Seahawks.
Mark didn't have to make that little mini leap. He might have had a chance to use his momentum and capitalize on a 1st down, but just that little jump into the air brought him back a bit, and now it's 4th down and a yard. 9:15. Can the Hawks strike once more? Is it complete? Indeed it is. Carenza Farrell laying out and making a play. Hawks 2 for 2 on 4th down, unheard of in the previous 7 games. Cody Addison is a different quarterback tonight. Confidence, poise. He is in a groove. Addison has gotten his team inside the 30-yard line. Lynden blitzing. Wyatt Hendricks immediately pumped and punished to the ground at the 27-yard line. Lynden's defense has routinely forced teams to rethink absolutely every basic aspect of their offense because that's how terrorizing this defense has been. But so far, the Hawks are liking what they see defensively, and they are moving the ball relatively easy. 2nd and 10, Addison in trouble. He is hit, taken down, Loss of 2, first sack of the night. Credit Justin Corliss. Anacortes has been able to keep the drives moving on third down, but this is the first time they are going to be backed up in third and long as it's 3rd and 12 back at the 27. All 4 receivers are going to be in motion here. 3 down linemen coming. They set up the screen to Alec Mavar, and he's going to get it up to the 20-yard line. A gain of 8 or 9. Lynden sold out just trying to use 3 men rushing. The screen has not been an area of success this season, but Mavar catches it, and he's got at least 4 or 5 yards before the first Lion gets a hand on him. Aaron Maddox eventually did, but the Hawks will have another 4th and short. 4th and 3. Can they make it 3 for 3? Addison rolling right. His medallion open, trying to find Mark. He's got it completed. Where's the spot? Up ahead at the 17 again. The Anacortes Seahawks keep the chains moving. 3 for 3 tonight. Inside the red zone. 4.5 minutes have already ticked off this clock. What a start to this game. Anacortes in business at the 16-yard line. Addison trying to get a score. Looks far side knocked away. Mavar slipped, and so did number 40, Eric Connor. Lost his feet too, and that's a good thing. Connor went down, so did Mavar. Both players pleased that they're going to get to move to 2nd down because Addison wishes he could have that pass back, and Mavar in kind of that danger zone. Not a lot can go right when you're trying to cut back at that point. 7:25 to go. It's 2nd and 10. Anacortes inside the 20-yard line. Here comes the blitz. Cody needs to react, goes short. Breaking it, tackles Farrell. He's going to get inside the 15. Safe gain of 4. 3rd down and 6. Seeing the press, feeling it, reading it. Cody just dumps it off. There's Carranza breaking a tackle. Nice hit initially by Jordan Weeks, but Carranza keeps it going. And the Seahawks again, 3rd down and short. They deserve a score with the way they are playing on this first drive. 3rd and 7. Addison back to pass, in trouble, trying to run with it. Can he break a tackle? No, taken down at the 12. Won't be a sack. But nonetheless, a nice play taking down Addison as Ryan Cito gets in there. So on 4th down, instead of trying to make it 4 for 4 on 4th down, it's up to Mike Olson to put the Seahawks on the board. A drive that started at the 17-yard line, could end at the 14 if this 27-yard kick is good. Mavar's going to hold. Let's see if the Hawks can get on the board first. Kick is down. Snap is good. Kick is up. No good.
Field goal is no good.
Mike Olson a little off the mark, trying to just tuck it inside the uprights, and that'll end a heroic first drive at the 14-yard line as Lynden gets ready to take over. 6:18 remains in the opening quarter of play. This is KWL's coverage of the Anacortes Seahawks. Will return in 30 seconds.
Hey, this is Rocky, the talking rockfish, trying to find out what makes the Rockfish Grill such a great place.
The food, they use a lot of local, fresh fish.
The atmosphere is great, the people are friendly.
It has great location, great food, great atmosphere, and great people to work in here.
I love the beer, the beer, the beer, the beer.
The great music, it's a local spot, man. This is how we roll.
It's the best family place in all of Anacortes.
Hey, see for yourself. The Rockfish Grill, located at 320 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Want an affordable family feast that everyone will love? Our home-style buffet at the Royal Fork Restaurant can't be beat. Right now at the Royal Fork Restaurant in Mount Vernon, kids eat any meal and only pay the lunch price. That's right, just 59 cents per year of age through age 12. That's the deal. Kids eat dinner and only pay for lunch. So grab the clan and have dinner at the Royal Fork Restaurant off Freeway Drive in Mount Vernon. The affordable family feast that can't be beat.
Only going to get a yard or maybe a loss of a yard as the pass is complete to Jordan Weeks. He's one of the receivers you'll see tonight along with Blair Bomber, Ryan Cito, Jace Baxter Bowen, and David Gaylord in the backfield, that running back. Already 3rd down and 9, loss of 1. There's 5:15 left to go. The Hawks can get the ball back if they can come up with a defensive stand. Sharma, Hayden Knight, I should say, moving around, shuffling around him and Daniel Cott at safety. They're going to take a couple steps back. Four receivers. Hastings gonna look long. He's got a man open, complete to the 50-yard line. Blair Bomber, no surprise.
Pass complete to
Gain
Blair
of
Bomber.
28 yards. Look at Bomber just streaking past Alec Mavar. You rarely see Alec get toe-tied, lined up against anybody. And Mavar was tested a lot last week. It did benefit Squalicum as Zach Victor was picked off twice by Mavar, but advantage Lions on the first time that they're coming after Mavar. 4:45 to go. Ball in Anacortes territory. 1st and 10 for Hastings. Going to go to the ground for the first time. There goes Gaylord marching forward down to the 43, 6 yards. No surprise. That's his average. David plants left, comes back right. 2-3 Seahawks home. And finally Daniel Codd said, put this guy to the ground. Man, is he a very imposing human being. David Gaylord comes in at 6'4", 225. Bunch of touchdowns, 6 yards a pop. This kid means business. 4:10 to go. It's 2nd and 4 as Gaylord shifts to the right, faking the handoff to Bomber, rolling out to the right is Hastings. He's going to look over the middle of the field. That's Alex Mavar at his best, knocking it to the ground as Cito can't come down with it. We're going to see Mavar shifted all night, dealing with both Bomber and Cito, and he doesn't care. Every single week, Alex Mavar deals with the number 1 and 2 receivers, and he typically prevails more often than not. Cito and Bomber, though, these are two big play threats, both of them hauling in over 50 yards a game. You know, Hastings throws for 153 a game. Those two account for over 100 of them. So when you got 70% of your yards going to two players, you might want to learn their names early. 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 4, ball at the 43. What does the Northwest Conference leading passer have in store? 3rd and 9, it looks like. Hastings has been towards the top of the NWC all season. He's established himself, though, as a junior. He's one of the more remarkable quarterbacks in this league. 9 touchdowns, 4 picks, and he's thrown for 6 TDs the last 3 weeks. And he's already got his team inside Anacortes territory, but now he's going to have to be shuffled back a few yards. Instead of 3rd and 4, it is 3rd and 9 for the 5 and 2 Lynden Lions. Gaylord joins Jordan by his side to the left. 4 receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Hawks showing blitz. Glancing to Coach Kurt Cramey as Hastings rethinking the play at hand, taking all the necessary time to make sure this play is called to perfection. 3:59 left. Hastings setting up the screen. Throws to Gaylord. Boy, David has some room if he can cut back. Macy, big time tackle at the 39, though, but that may be enough.
Pass complete.
Looks like the refs are going to give him 38 on the 38-yard line, which would be enough. Wyatt Hendricks got through that briar patch, but a little late. Screen comes to Gaylord. Look at that cutback just in time. Just enough momentum to kind of drag Lynden with him that extra 3-4 yards.
1st down and 10, Lynden.
And that gives the Lions a 1st down inside the 40-yard line. As you can see, coaches are tending to our first and hopefully last injury of the evening, as a Lynden Lion player went down at the 38-yard line. 3:49 remains in this opening quarter of play. No score, but the Lions are driving. We'll take a break. This is KWLE 1340's coverage of the Anacortes Seahawks. Return in 30 seconds.
San Juan Toffee in Anacortes is one sweet shop. They've got 16 flavors of toffees and brittle, organic honeys from the Northwest, delicious jams and jellies, specialty foods, gift baskets at low prices with products you won't find at the market, and a whole lot more. Experience the toffee the Candyman calls the world's best. That's the sweetest seal of approval you can find anywhere. San Juan Toffee. Everything you love about toffee, only softer. Located at 2702 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Welcome back. We're at War Memorial Field where, as you're seeing at Whale TV, David Gaylord being led off the field. Macy kind of jerked him to the ground and his left shoulder planted into the surface pretty hard. David walks off the field, but knowing that he is the sole reason, Lynden has 1st down at the 38-yard line. 3:40 is left. We are in the opening quarter of play. What an exciting start between the Lions and the Seahawks. Hastings wants to look long. A lot of contact. Cito and Mavar ran into each other, and they got to throw the flag. Alec, hands on his hips, wants to have a little convo with the ref, saying, I did not create that contact. Nonetheless, Hastings wanted to go long. Third time they've tried to air out a pass in excess of 20 yards. And the response has been one completion for 28, one incompletion, and now a pass interference penalty on Alec Mavar. We may need a backup supply of headsets because it looks like Charlie Bell's first pair is on the verge of being broken. Not happy with that call. And Alec Mavar, for the first time all season in one quarter, has experienced back-to-back plays, well, 2 out of 3 plays where a wide receiver has been able to accumulate more than 20 yards with him defending. It is rare. It is something that I thought was extinct and we would never see again. And I would not be surprised if that is the last time tonight Mavar allows such a thing to happen. 3:25 to go, ball at the 23. Hastings showing shotgun, we'll see it all night. He's gonna roll to his left, setting up the option. Gives it up to Bomber. He's taken down at the 34-yard line. Mavar, excited, read it perfectly. Takes down Blair with a pickup, maybe a yard.
Tackled by Alec Mavar.
Bomber has been tacked tonight all season long. Don't let that size or those numbers next to his name on that roster fool you. 5'8", 155. Psh, it doesn't play like it. Little bowling ball. This guy's a man of steel, and he has been all season long. Loses a yard though on that carry with 2:45 to go. It's 2nd and 11. Hastings takes a couple steps back, has time, has Bomber open, wide open. Blair Bomber, 6 points. Take it. Wow. Blair Bomber had to take the time to retie his shoe in the end zone. That's how long he was waiting there.
Blair Bomber.
Man, oh man, just a lightning bolt. Can't fault Hayden Knight on that one. He had no chance. Sophomore safety. Probably could have been given a 2-3 second head start running towards the end zone. I think Bomber still might have been able to burn him. What speed. Extra point, no problem.
Point after is good. Lynden
Joel
Lions
Brown puts
7,
it through, and
Anacortes
just like that, the Lynden
0.
Lions, they have struck first. 2:34 is left at 7-0. Anacortes, they'll receive the kick when we return on KWLE 1340. You're listening to Anacortes High School Football. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
I believe fishing is half sport, half religion.
Beer is by far the best sports drink there is.
My slippers, they're called socks.
Bacon is my favorite food group.
I have never jumped over a puddle.
I've cooked my dinner with an acetylene torch.
It's not something you wear, it's something you are. Carhartt works strong.
Carhartt work clothes for men are available at Siebel's Hardware, located at 1102 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
We'll be back. Anacortes, part 2 of their offensive saga is ready to go. Brown, short little chip of a kick, caught at the 27-yard line. Looks like Phipps came up with it, and he's taken down about the 33, 34-yard line. Seahawks getting ready for possession in series number 2 tonight. And while the scoreboard does not reflect the impressive nature of that first series, if you were able to watch it at home, Whale TV, or listen to it, you have to recognize that was one of the more commanding, decisive drives of the season. Anacortes 3 for 3 on 4th downs. Cody Addison looked great. Let's see if it's going to carry over. First down going to the air. Mavar again comes up with a catch, breaks the tackle. First down, Alec Mavar. Second time tonight. Addison with all the protection he needed. Perkins, a nice little block, sets up Mavar, breaks one tackle, spins forward, and falls down to the 43-yard line, gain of 11. 2 catches, 30 yards, just what the doctor ordered for Mavar. 2:10 to go. Going to Farrell, woof! Bounces off his shoulder pads. Nearly picked off. Narrowly escaping a turnover on the Seahawks.
Second down and 10, Seahawks.
Eric Connor had a chance, but he was anticipating coming after the tackle and saw a ball that deflected up past his face mask. Didn't have a chance to go after it. No complaints on the sideline with a gentleman wearing purple. 2:07 to go at 2nd and 10. Flag. Play is dead. Never a good sign for the individuals representing the offense. False start on Anacortes will put him at 2nd and 15. Hey, just to let everybody know, Whale TV is made possible by the Anacortes High School Media Department, keeping these kids
bring up 2nd down, 15
full and well-fed. It's Village Pizza in Anacortes, located at 807 Commercial Avenue, dishing off all kinds of goodies to the kids in the van tonight. 2nd down, going long to Mavar. Can he get a hand on it? Alec Mavar at the 37-yard line. Not only got a hand on it, but he made a leaping grab that is one for the highlight reel. Addison saw the pressure, felt the pressure, lobbed it up for Mavar, timing it perfectly, and at its highest point, Mavar soars to the sky and comes down with it. Gain of 27 in 1/2 alone. Alec Mavar has tallied 3 catches for 47 yards. This could be a game of his life at this rate. 1st down. Addison wants to go long again to Medallia, just over Mark's hands.
Pass intended
Oh,
for
Medallia
Mark
has been the target of many a deep balls, and he just wants one time to come down with one of them. He's a great short yardage threat, and you can see how Charlie Bell is trying to turn him into that hybrid tight end, the Jeremy Shockey effect of sorts, where he can line up in a stance or standing and look down the field. Just hasn't worked out this season, but they're not going to stop going for him. 2nd down this time. It is picked off by Connor. They went for Medallia. Mark didn't really have a chance to go for it. Just tried to poke his hand out.
By Eric Connor,
and just like that,
Lynden.
it tips majestically into the hands of number 40. Eric Connor had a chance on that pass to Corinza Farrell. Couldn't bring it in, but hey, give Eric 2 chances, and he's going to make sure he doesn't miss out. With 1:42 to go, we have seen our first turnover of the evening. It's interception 12 on the year for Cody. He has been great tonight, and that was the first pass he'd like to have back against Lynden. You make one mistake, and they will make you pay. 1st and 10 at the 42. Well, Hastings look long. You got 4 receivers, and none of them are going short. Ball in the air, deep along the sideline. Big play. Corinza Farrell knocks it to the ground.
Pass intended for Jordan Weeks.
Jordan Weeks, just like Blair, got off to an early head start going down the sideline. But boy, can Corinza Farrell make up some ground quick, huh? He's a running back and kick returner for a reason. He's got a length like no other. And if you put it within an arm's length of him, he's going to bat it to the ground. Anacortes is not short on talent at quarterback. These corners are unreal. 2nd and 10, 90 seconds left. Lynden leads 7-0 on senior night in Anacortes. Hastings gives it up. There goes Blair. Off to the outside to the hedges. He goes to midfield, gain of 8.
Carried by
Blair Bomber can pick up 8 yards, while 11 defenders are trying to prepare and recognize that the handoff even occurred. I mean, it is just that quick.
Tackle by Mike Olson for
Olson
Anacortes.
gets in for the tackles. The Seahawks are going to try to stuff Lynden on 3rd and 1, wasting no time. The Lions push it forward. A flag from the back judge may indicate that Jordan picked up the ball a little too quickly. We'll see, and that is indeed the call. So instead of 1st and 10, an illegal motion call will be administered. It's 3rd and 6. And this is honestly when Lynden can look at Coach Kirk Cramy as he opens up that entire playbook and kind of goes eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This is a scenario where the Lions are not short of coming up with a play. They can run it with Bomber around the edges. And maybe, though, with David Gaylord still not back in the game, they don't have as many options as they like. But Brett Bahima, still a very capable running back. With Gaylord still sidelined, we'll see if they go to Bahima on the run. 50 seconds left, still 7-zip, Lynden on top. Hastings going to the air again, incomplete pass. Daniel Codd made the hit on Cito, but it was thrown behind him. That would have been a great catch by Ryan as he got turned around. Hastings had some time, but he felt the pressure. And that gave Anacortes just enough time to close and collapse on the play, and they're going to get the ball back. Seahawks give the ball up on a turnover on an interception, but the defense stands tall. And Corinza Farrell is going to get a chance to put a little dazzle into this game. He's got a touchdown on an interception return this year, touchdown on a kick return. Corinza, you want to get 6 points now? We could use a punt return. 40 seconds to go. Low line drive after the snap was bobbled. Farrell's not going to get near it as Lynden is all over it at the 27-yard line. As the Hawk offense will get another shot to come and get their first score of the game. It's Anacortes 0, Lynden 7. This is KWLE's coverage. The Anacortes High School football team will turn in 30 seconds.
Skagit State Bank, a local bank served by local people that hasn't changed for 50 years. We help families and businesses reach their financial goals. As a full-service bank, we offer checking and savings, online banking, loans, investments, financial planning, and so much more. Come on in and see why you won't find better customer service anywhere. We have 14 convenient branches in Skagit, Whatcom, and Snohomish counties. Or log on to SkagitBank.com for more information. Skagit State Bank, your hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2, Seahawks.
Cody Addison jumping on any and every opportunity to find Alec Mavar tonight on the first play after pouncing on that punt at the 27-yard line. Addison goes to Alec Mavar again, give him 8 more yards, and on 2nd and 2, they'll go to Wyatt Hendricks. He gets a couple yards and gives the Seahawks a first down. 4 catches for 55 yards unofficially tonight for Mavar. He's gone over 100 yards once this season. Did it against Cedro Willie when he had those 10 catches for 101. Also has had a 90-yard receiving day, but more often than not, Mavar has been left frustrated in the receiving end of things as he has not been able to meet his goals and quota of success. That is changing tonight. Addison in trouble, breaks free, and is able to get 2 yards. That is an accomplishment in itself as Lynden goes all in the first quarter and just missing the Ryan Cito sack. Addison is able to get a couple extra yards as Justin Cordes gets in to make the play, but it was still after Addison was able to limp forward and get a gain of 2. When we return in the second quarter of play, it'll be 2nd and 8 at the 40-yard line of Anacortes. Seahawks 0, Lynden 7. This is KWLE's coverage of Anacortes Seahawks. Will return in 30 seconds.
Don't you wish you were getting better gas mileage? Well, when you come into Fidalgo Bay Express Lube, our 15-point star service will help identify and fix problems that may be lowering your fuel efficiency. We feature Haviland with new Deposit Shield. It's designed to protect your engine from harmful deposits with its unique additive package because a clean engine runs better. So stop by today at Fidalgo Bay Express Lube, located at 1319 O Avenue in Anacortes. Texaco Express Lube and Haviland with Deposit Shield. Protect precious metals.
Hopefully you're doing all right on this Friday night. We're doing great at War Memorial Field because we've got a battle in front of us. Seahawks are trailing 7-0, but led by Cody Addison, who's doing an admirable job tonight at quarterback. The Seahawks offense has been a well-oiled machine tonight. Yeah, they had that interception on their last series, but this team is moving the ball up the field, especially Alec Mavar.
Congratulations to the Anacortes
That 27-yard catch should just be replayed on a loop.
The league championship on
the reception by Mavar put Anacortes inside the 30-yard line. The drive eventually stalled, and Mike Olson couldn't convert on a field goal, but the Hawks are back in business on 2nd down. They're going to go to the passing game, but an incomplete pass will be the result. Addison just clonked at the 30-yard line. They went to Corinza, but even if he catches it, his knee was already planted on the ground. He would have lost a couple, so by default, it was a benefit for the Seahawks, and now it'll be 3rd down and 8. Not an ideal position for Anacortes as they put Dietzman back in and remove Shane Phipps, but The Hawks are capable of converting. Third down, rolling to the right, looking across the field to Wyatt Hendrick, almost intercepted, and boy, you felt for Wyatt's safety on that one. 4 Lynden Lions coming after him, and Wyatt was just staring into the sky trying to find that pigskin. 2 Lions flying after him, and fortunately, Blair Bomber went for the interception. That was a benefit for all involved that Blair did not try to go for that highlight reel hit, or else Wyatt could still be seeing stars. 4th down, 11:50 to go. Farrell's going to get a chance to punt this one away. Going for it. It's a fake punt. Corinza Farrell up ahead to the 45-yard line. He's going to be short by 2 yards.
Carranza Farrell.
A risky decision. Almost pays off. For Carranza, a little short. Need a lot of room if you're going to go for the fake punt by trying to run with it. And even though Carranza's got that speed and he can wheel and deal with the best of them, he needed about 16 yards considering where he caught that ball and couldn't get past the 45. So here come the Lynden Lions leading 7-0 with 11:42 to go. And Jordan Hastings back on the field getting orders from Coach Kurt Cramey. Looking for win number 144 with the Lions. Been doing this a long time, 17 years, and his team is poised for another deep 2A playoff run. Hastings dumps it off. Weeks is going to get it up ahead to about the 43-yard line.
Pass complete to Jordan Weeks.
Jordan, another one of those little guys who probably takes offense at it, and I would too. Jordan and Blair, none of these guys even acknowledge their size. They play with such heart and intensity. And hey, if the ball gets in their hands, size is an afterthought because of what they can do with their speed and craftiness. 2nd and 8, 11 minutes to go. It's 7-0 as Jordan Hastings rubs his hands together, acknowledges Blair Bomber to get moving, and Hastings is going to run with it, and Jordan's got some room to the 30, to the 28. Farrell makes the tackle after a gain of 15. Boy, is he shifty. Taking the handoff, uses his left hand to push forward a Lion blocker, gets past Hayden Knight, and cuts back at the last second after a 15-yard gain. Multi-dimensional. Jordan Hastings does it all. 10:45 to go, ball's at the 28, and this is when you can pick your poison at this point. Hastings has the ability to go long here. He's been doing it all game. They haven't looked short in any of their passes, and now they will. Skipping it across the field to Bomber. He catches it to the 30, breaks the tackle, spins ahead, and by his jersey, Perkins will finally throw him to the ground, but not after a first down. Simple pass, but a nice block by Brower. Gives Bomber enough room, gets past 2 Hawk players. And finally, Perkins will take whatever he can get, and that is a piece of that jersey. Lynden in their road white pants, white jersey with the yellow trim on the shoulder pads and the green stripes, yellow helmets with the green logo. Hawks in their home purple. 10-minute mark. Ball's in the air, and inside the 5-yard line we go. Another pass is complete. Wyatt Hendricks, Alec Mavar in on the tackles. We get a little field coverage of that pass from Hastings.
Pass complete to Ryan Cito.
Ryan Cito brings it in, and here we go. 1st and goal. We had the pleasure of watching Zach Victor last week. Even though he threw 3 interceptions, that kid is a traditional-looking quarterback. It's accurate, reads routes, and always puts the ball in an area where his receivers can make the play. But Victor doesn't compare to Jordan Hastings. That's tough to say. This guy just conducts himself with cool. At the 4-yard line, will he get his 2nd touchdown of the game in the air? They're going to let Jordan keep it. He's at the goal line, into the end zone. Jordan Hastings has accounted for both touchdowns tonight, but this will be his first one on the ground. It's 13-0. Not even bothering with the handoff. Brett, go block for me. Fakes the handoff to Baima. And into the end zone he goes. It's 13-0 as Jordan Hastings gets in for the first time tonight. Brown back on. His 2nd extra point of the night. He was right down the middle on the first one. How about number 2? Ya betcha. 14-zip. Clock reads 9:29 as the Hawks are down by a couple scores. This is Anacortes High School football on the Whale. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Your walls are your canvas. Your life is your inspiration. And your paint is Benjamin Moore. Benjamin Moore Paints, the backdrop to your life.
Benjamin Moore Paints, now at Ace Hardware here in Anacortes, 1720 Q Avenue.
Anacortes will get ready to take over for the second time in the second half. They were faced with a 4th and 8 at their own 43-yard line. Instead of punting, the Hawks went for a fake punt. Corinza Farrell got close to the first down, but he was short by a couple yards. Lynden took over, and they pounced. Little squib kick, covered by Mark Medaglia. He'll get to the 37-yard before he is taken down. Return of a couple.
Mark Medaglia.
The punting game has been reliable. It's been sturdy all season, but if you are searching and seeking for turning points the last 2 weeks, you'll start with the punting game, leading 10-0. Late in the third quarter, Anacortes tried to punt. Corinza Farrell had some issues with the ball, dropped it, fell on it at the 47. Squalicum then came back and answered with a touchdown, and that changed the entire tempo of the game. On first down, looking for Corinza Farrell. Addison was long, but it looked like Corinza may have gotten wrapped up, and he may give himself and his team the 25-yard additional amount of yardage, and that is going to be the call. Pass interference on Lynden. But again, back to last week, 10-0. Farrell had some issues with that punt. Just bobbled it, fell on it at about the 47. Squalicum took over, and Jack Victor found Paul Smith for a touchdown to meet it 10-7. And with that, Squalicum was right back in the game. They score 17 more unanswered and get a 24-10 win. Some issues with the punt so far tonight. Going for it, Hawks don't get it. Lynden scores. They now lead by 2 touchdowns. But Anacortes gets a pass interference call, but it won't last as the feel-good story of the moment will turn to a bit of despair, as there's Jordan Weeks immediately taking back any momentum Anacortes had cordially been granted and returning back to the Lions, looking for Zolman. Throwing off his back foot was Addison, and Weeks comes down with the interception. So here are the Lynden Lions taking over again. This team just knows how to create turnovers. They almost had an interception by Connor in a pass to Corinza Farrell early in the first quarter. Connor couldn't get it. Then, wasting no time trying to make up for that little miscue. I can't even call it a miscue by Connor, just wasn't in the right place at the right time. He gets another opportunity in the pass to Mark Medaglia, picks it off for the first interception, and now throwing off his back foot, Jordan Weeks comes up with the INT. First down, Hastings wants to go long. He's got a receiver just missing out on a possible touchdown.
Pass intended
was Hastings as he tried to find Jason Baxter Bowen. Not even
second down and 10.
hiding the intent as Hastings barely even faked that play action, just enough to pretend like, okay, just to say to his coach, I told you, I read you. We'll do play actions, but I don't need to sell out when I can just step back, show it quickly, and look long. Hastings has quite the arm. We've seen it on display time and time again. And on second and 10, we may see it one more time. 4 receivers. It's a delay into Jordan's hands. He's got a lot of room into Anacortes territory. Hastings to the 40, to the 35. A huge block may get him into the end zone. Down to the 5-yard line, Jordan Hastings. 68 yards. He's going to be at a hundo by the half. Perkins and Knight willing themselves to try to keep up with them. And look at Blair Bomber. Oh, painful to watch from up here. Blair was headhunting, and I don't blame him. His quarterback's running, was already ahead of him, and he had about 3 defenders chasing him, so Blair was able to get a lick in there. 8:45 to go. It's first and goal Hastings has a touchdown in the air. Got one on the ground, and he's the reason his team is down to the 5-yard line. Bahima lines up to the left of him. Couple receivers, along with 2 tight ends in. Looking to the air, Jordan has a wide open receiver, and he'll complete it with ease. It's 20-0 as Blair Bomber is going to get his second touchdown of the night. Hastings is rolling. They make it look easy, don't they? Blair Bomber puts it in the end zone as the score is now 20-0 as Brown will step on to make the extra point. And again, we want to give a little thanks to Village Pizza at 807 Commercial Avenue, making sure all of our students who are working hard down in the van to make Whale TV possible in the Anacortes High School Media Department are fed and full tonight. Village Pizza at 807 Commercial Avenue providing some tasty treats tonight. Brown misses the extra point, so the score will remain 20-0 with 8:26 to go. You're listening to Anacortes High School football. It's senior night on the Whale. We'll take a break and return in 30 seconds.
When you laid your course for a secure financial future, you hoped for smooth sailing. But now we're getting storm watches and small craft advisories. I'm Duncan Frazier of Anacortes Financial Associates. Our team of independent, fee-based professionals is dedicated to helping people identify and implement sensible financial strategies. When you're headed into unfamiliar waters, it's good to have someone to help you stay on course. Give us a call. Our home port is downtown Anacortes.
Securities offered through NPC, member FINRA SIPC. Anacortes Financial Associates and NPC are separate and unrelated companies.
Joel Brown to kick off for the Lions. Wyatt Hendricks, Carranza Farrell, deep
It's
for the
20-0
Seahawks.
as Anacortes gets ready to take over. Just in awe of Jordan Hastings right now. 68-yard run that sets up the third score of the game, a pass to Blair Bomber, which they may be in competition. Secretly, I cannot tell to see who can score the most tonight. Bomber, you're leading early. You got 2, but Jordan with that running game, you may get in a couple more times tonight. Brown kicks it. Caught at the 20 by Shane Phipps. He'll get a head to about the 27-yard line. That's where Anacortes will take over.
Shane Phipps.
Another
Seahawks
low
will begin
pop-up
first
of
down
a
and
kick.
10 at their own 29-yard
Phipps
line.
kind of falling backwards as he makes the catch. Not a lot of room at that point as he's taken down abruptly by Eric Connor. I almost wonder if you presented Blair Bomber with a wish and said you could be 6'4", 210, would you accept? I think he'd say no. Pass goes to Hendricks. Gets a gain of a couple. The guy just wears his suit with such stature. At 5'8", he makes you pay for underestimating him, which if you do, I feel sorry for you. I don't know who would with his storied and career filled with valor. But he just continues to churn along and make you impressed every waking second. 2nd and 10, pass is incomplete. There was a flag on the play. Anacortes trails 20-0 with 7:52 to go. And that Lynden Lion defense, they are starting to roar. They're having a tough time bridging the gap between Anacortes' offensive line. That's starting to change, though. The Lion pressure's increasing moment by moment. Penalty will be on the Hawks. They'll be assessed a 5-yard penalty and bump back to the 23, where it'll be 2nd and 15. 16 seniors are playing their final game in front of the hometown crowd at War Memorial. Seahawks still looking for that first win of the season. And just to let everybody know, the final game of the regular season at least, it's been moved from next Thursday against Seahawks to next Friday, Halloween night at Civic State. 7:52 to go. Addison wants to go long, puts it in the air to Mavar. He's got one-on-one coverage through his hands. Would have been a tough catch, had a chance at it, but nice job by Bomber of really shoving that shoulder into Alec as he tried to come down with it and disrupting his flow. Mavar with a gargantuan first quarter, coming up with 4 catches, over 50 yards. The offense has started to clunk a little bit here in the second quarter. Mavar hasn't had many chances. That was his first opportunity, but it came on 3rd down, and now Anacortes will have to punt. Farrell not messing around this time. He's let it go. 2 returners back. One of them is Bomber. He loses it. Ball is still on the ground. Lynden trying to fall on it. They eventually will at the 25. Nice job just realizing
ready on
that
the recovery
Nolan
for the
Goody
Lynden
had
Lions.
no other option at that point than to just land on it.
Lions will begin first down and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Blair Bomber with a rare miscue. Probably his only one of the night as Mavar was coming after him. Just let it kind of slip through his hands. Nice kick by Farrell. His trademark, those line drives that are just high enough to make the punt returner kind of question his judgment. And it's not Bomber's fault. We've seen Farrell do this to punt returners all season long. A master at those kicks. 7:33 to go. It is 20-0 Lynden. Back in possession. Jordan Hastings has controlled this Seahawk defense. He's now got 11 touchdowns on the season in the air. And with Anacortes trailing by 3 scores, the Lions are going to take a timeout, have a little discussion before they get set for another possession. As we're halfway through the second quarter of play. It's Anacortes 0, Lynden 20. You're listening to Seahawk High School football on the whale. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Girls soccer team.
El Jinete Mexican Restaurant in Anacortes has been family run for over 20 years. That's why we take pride in supporting high school football. Our authentic food is prepared with only the freshest of ingredients. From tasty tostadas to delicious enchiladas, you'll find something to love on our menu. Enjoy the best margaritas in town, along with a full-service premium bar. El Jinete. Our name may be hard to remember, but you'll never forget our delicious Mexican food. El Jinete, 509 Commercial Avenue, next to the post office in Anacortes.
We return to you after the first timeout of the game, called by the Lynden Lions. Ball is marked at the 24-yard line. 7:33 left in the second quarter. 20-zip reads a score in favor of the Lions. Still a top 10 team in 2A, even with those 2 losses. They are respected far and wide. Here comes the blitz. Can Macy get through? Nope, neither can Hendricks, going short to an open bomber. Oh, he stumbles at the 33.
Pass complete to
And Anacortes' field is going to get credit for the tackle on that one because there wasn't a Seahawk in sight. Hastings just pelts that puppy right into Blair. Sharma was within at least eyesight, but that does not mean that he or Mavar would have been able to get in there for the tackle. So it'll be second down. Sharma is going to get in and make the tackle at the 35-yard line after a gain of, it looks to be about 4 or 5.
Brett Bajima.
Bajima's going to pick up a couple.
First down and 10 Lions.
And it'll be enough to give the Lynden Lions another first down.
For the Seahawks.
Hawks trying to shuffle around their defense as Hastings rolls again to his right. Perfect throw right on target, gain of what looks to be about 10, 11 yards, brought in by Baxter Bowen. Rolling to his right, sets that feet and angles that right foot right towards his target, lines up his shoulders.
Sharma on the tackle for the Seahawks.
Even while he staggers and is kind of stumbling to his right, just a perfect flip right in the hands of Baxter Bowen. On first down, and a crisscrossing up ahead for another pickup of 5, 6 yards. Goes Bajima. And it'll be second and short after the 8, 9-yard pick. The Seahawks, though, have an injured lineman, and it's Dan Eatsman. He was holding that leg and kind of rolling the ground, though, but more in anger, he pops right back up. Get away, coach. I'm fine.
Benchman with the tackle.
Eastman's going to have to take a quick step off the field. I'm sure that's what he's going to do. Planting his foot down, immediately turn to the sideline and start trying to convince the coaching staff to get him back in there. The anchor of that defensive line for the Seahawks. If a running back is about to be taken to the ground, it's more likely than not the result of a tackle by a big 7-4. Without Dietzman, it'll be second and 1. Hastings fakes the handoff, goes to the air, goes short. There's Blair Bomber up to the 37-yard line. He just kind of lingers, just kind of saunters his way towards the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 6 on the play. First down.
Just is always in eyesight, a 4 or 5 yard range of availability for Jordan Hastings. Or at least that has been his signature location for the past 9 or 10 minutes, as on first down they'll put it on the ground and pick up 6-7 yards. As Vajima gets a nice pickup. Bomber in the first quarter, all we saw out of Blair is number 23 just scorching the field, running long, picked up that 20-yard touchdown reception, but in the second quarter they've kept him short after the injury to Gaylord, and it's again been another beneficial area. As in the air, Blair Bomber, I am speechless. I have nothing more to say to you. Jordan Hastings, rolling left. Are you just trying to increase the degree of difficulty? This pass is thrown behind as Bomber, falling to his right, puts a hand on the ball, left-handed and brings it in. This kid's unreal. Vajima takes it, dives to the end zone, he gets in. 14-yard touchdown run, taking a touchdown away from Bomber. And Hastings are the only individuals who have touchdowns so far tonight. Vajima gets in, it's 26-0. Apologies to Alec Mavar and that touchdown, well, that reception you had in the first quarter. I said we should just run that continuous highlight reel. Usurped and usurped and one-upped by Blair Bomber. Falling to his right, palms it. Didn't even need two hands. Doesn't even need two hands to make the play. Brown puts this one in. It's 27-0 with 5:10 to go. As Lynden is putting on a show. Down 4 scores, final 5 minutes remain in the second quarter. Seahawks will get ready to put their offense back on the field. You're listening to Anacortes High School football on the Whale. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation offers rehab programs at its location in the Cannery Building near the Seafarers Building in Anacortes. Whether you're recovering from a back injury or stroke, whether in need of speech therapy, occupational therapy, or sports rehab, we're here to help. Call 299-1328. Our staff has more than 200 years of combined experience to get you back to your active life. Visit Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at our beachfront location or call 299-1328.
Lions getting ready to kick off as they lead 27-0. You know, we make available all DVD copies of Anacortes High School football broadcasts. For you Lynden fans, just contact our station at 293-3141. We'll put you in touch with the Anacortes Media Department. Typically they go for $15, but after that catch, I'm told by Jim Thompson, our director extraordinaire, they're going for $100. They're worth it after seeing that play by Blair Bomber. Just kidding, $15, call us. Kick goes to Hendricks. He's going to get up to the 21-yard line. And again, our number is 293-31414. DVD copies of Lynden and Anacortes as Brown puts it into Wyatt's hands. Had a tough time bringing it down. Did the senior, but he gets ahead to about the 21. Hendricks, another senior, linebacker who's been banged up this year. This kid is just an athlete. Played right field for the Seahawks baseball team. And if you dared to throw him a fastball at the plate, I'm sorry. Not going to work out for you. He just has some amazing power, and you see it on the football field. First down going to Mavar. Alex Mavar! Blair Bomber, get off me! Bomber is being tested and challenges. Mavar now has the advantage in the highlight game. As Addison lobbed it to a leaping Alec Mavar, drifting towards the sideline, timing it once again, and out jumping Mavar bobbles into his hands. Bomber got bumped, and Mavar comes down with it. Looks so good, we may have to see it twice. First down and 10 at the 46, 4:45 to go. Seahawks, different look. 5 receivers, they go back to Mavar, who lost it. It looked like, was that out? Couldn't tell, not enough time to read it, and Lynden comes away with it.
Fumble recovered by Eric Connor for Lynden.
It was Mavar, lost it right in front of the sideline, and Connor will get his second turnover of the game. Interesting shift by the Seahawks. First time we've seen that look tonight where they go 3 receivers to the right, 2 near side by the sideline. Just no room, even if Mavar makes that catch. Nowhere to go to, and his 6th reception of the night will be one that he would soon like to forget. Mavar, though, with 2 tremendously athletic receptions tonight. He's got over 70 yards receiving, but hands it back to the Lions in this instance. You got to wonder if Blair Bomber is now in the thought process of Hastings, knowing that he now has to come away with another huge play. They're going to look to Blair. It's a little short, though. Some contact, no need for a call, though. Bomber and Mavar make up quite the tandem to watch, don't you think? They have been side by side. Whoever's playing wide receiver, the other is playing cornerback, and they have been fun to watch. Mavar might have gotten a hand on his jersey, but referee seeing the ball was thrown a little short. Blair probably wouldn't have been able to make the catch. I say that hesitantly. Don't really want to test him or dare him to do anything at this point. 2nd and 10. Hastings is gonna scoot up ahead, go to the right. Dabble going to the left. He'll get 2-3 yards as Macy tripped him up first. 4:17 to go. Seahawks trail 27-0 with 4:10 on the clock. No David Gaylord. He was sidelined after coming up with a huge 10-yard reception in the first quarter. He has yet to return. Presumably he may be done game with the score reading 27-0. Clock under 4 minutes, and Hastings taking all the time in the world at this point. Little blitz shown by the Seahawks, but look at that offensive line by Lynden. Pass is complete, but a late flag is thrown in the backfield. A nice pass right into Cito's hands, which would put Lynden down to the 25-yard line, but it is going to be holding on the Lions. Had to have been something to see the Seahawks just sell out blitz and not be able to get one member of their defense through was questionable. There was a reason for it, a little holding on the Lions. Hastings enters tonight's game leading the Northwest Conference, averaging 230 yards a game over his last 2 contests. Even more remarkable was last week's performance against Mount Baker, which I think we've heard an array of terms used for the weather conditions, everything from soupy to murky, muddy, sloppy. It was brutal, and he still gets over 200 yards. So Hastings turning the corner on what was a good season into a great season as the Lions come down the home stretch. Oh, and he's just a junior. 3rd and 22, 3:30 to go. Hastings rubbing those hands together, knowing he gets a throw now. Looking along with Macy coming in off the blitz, across the middle of the field, putting a read on it. Sharma can't come down with it. It falls into the hands of the Lions as again Bomber is able to pull out of Sharma's hands. He's down to the 25-yard line. Pass was not where it was meant to be, but just fighting for it and wrestling it away from Cy is Blair Bomber as he gets another reception. The Lions are inside the 30-yard line. Final 3 minutes, setting up the screen, going short. Bajama's going to get it inside the 25.
Pass complete to Brett Bajima.
Pickup of maybe 3 for Brett Bajima. Hastings
Gain of 1 on the play.
is just impossible to outcool. At this point, he is so poised and doesn't even seem like he notices the pressure. Setting up the option. Bajima has an issue with it, but he'll be able to hold it in just in time to take the tackle. Daniel Codd over to lay the hit. Going to his left, trusting Hastings to run the option to his left. Perkins was able to get in time. Option a little low, but still right in the area of grip for Bajima, and he's able to pull it in just in time to pick up a yard. So it'll be 3rd and 8. Another passing down with 2 minutes to go. Bomber will alert you of his presence. He's near side, matched up against Alec Mavar. Got Cito to his left. Bajima lined up right across from Jordan Hastings. 3rd down, going Blair Bomber all the way. 3rd touchdown of the night.
Pass complete.
He can do no wrong.
For the touchdown.
Blair Bomber again brings it in from 24 yards. It's 33-0. This was the first time Bombers brought one in, and he really didn't have to make a whirlwind of an athletic accomplishment. Was able to use his sheer speed to break free
Joel Brown
and make
on
the
to
catch.
attempt the point after.
Brown in. He can tap it in to make it 34 zip. Looking
Point
good.
after is good. Lynden Lions
Is
34,
Joel Brown as the
Anacortes
Lynden
Seahawks
Lions
0.
extend their lead 2-34-0. We've got your San Juan Toffee halftime report just a few moments away. We'll recap the key plays that have led to this outcome, and trust me, it almost wasn't like this after the first drive of the night by the Seahawks. Anacortes put together, I kid you not, their most impressive opening drive of the season, and that may sound highly questionable considering that they didn't score, but it was the way the Seahawks conducted themselves, converting fourth down time and time again. It was just brilliant, but unfortunately, it looks like the wind was kind of sucked out of the Seahawks when they weren't able to convert that field goal, and you can't give the Lions numerous opportunities because they will get you. Lynden leading by 34 with 1:43 to go. We'll see if Joel Brown goes for the squib kick one more time. He won't. Kicks it off towards Wyatt Hendricks. Makes the Cats at about the 17. A little room to the right. Immediately hit and taken down close to the 30-yard line.
Wyatt Hendricks on the return for Anacortes.
Again, the Hawks without both Ryan Taylor
First down and 10
and Chris Stoneham tonight.
29-yard line.
More of a shoestring tackle, but nonetheless one that was able to hold up Mr. Hendricks. Cody Addison, final 1:40 of the opening half of play. Hawks got to turn it back to Lynden in the second half, so it can't hurt him to get aggressive here to end the opening half of play. Looking long across the middle to Corinza Farrell, picked off. Number 3, this time Blair Bomber comes away with it at the 45-yard line. Weeks, Bomber, Connor, all with interceptions tonight. That's a 4th of the evening for the Seahawks. As the Lions will take over once again. Cody Addison now has thrown 14 interceptions to 1 touchdown on the season these last 4 weeks. Just have been rough for the young man. He looks a little hurt as he goes to the sideline holding that left hand gingerly. Lions take over with 94 seconds left on the clock. Hastings glances out to the left, back to the right as the Hawks linebacking crew led by Sam Perkins backs off. Going to the option again. Bomber makes Sharma miss. Wyatt Hendricks will get the tackle at the 40, but it's not worth mentioning because a holding call will be leveled against the Lions. About 2-3 flags, all called after the catch, a gimme of holdings. Shane Hardesty looked like he got shoved in the back first. It almost looks like Bomber is running through an invisible maze on the field. When he has the ball in his hands, the amount of zigzags and different routes he runs, I want to know what he sees when he's running up the field, because the ability to make players miss while taking just abstract angles makes you realize how special this kid is. And I know this is nothing new for Lynden fans who are like, "What, you're just figuring this out?" We've known for a while, but obviously fun to see in person. 1st and 14. Zima gets it up to about the 44-yard line, maybe the 45-yard line.
A carry for Lynden.
Lion faithful still encouraging their team on to one last final score. They go to Bomber, trying to make a couple Seahawks miss. And Blair Bomber gets to the 50-yard line. How did he just get 7 yards? Bomber looked like he was taken down about the 45. Gets past Hardesty, Pfeffer, Dietzman. Big pickup, moves the ball to midfield. Final 30 seconds. Why not throw one long? Completion made. Guess who? The 41. Nice little nifty 9-yard pickup by Lynden. I've tried to keep count in my head how many yards he has, and I went through a 2-year school. I can't count this high at this point. Bomber has just come away with a remarkable amount of receptions, and he's going to get one here. Whoa! Down to the 17. Bomber again makes the tackle on himself.
To Blair Bomber.
That was a
First
great
down and 10, Lynden at the
show
Seahawks
of shiftiness.
18-yard line.
Blair Bomber just played Zorro on the Seahawk defense. He caught the ball at about the 30 and just showed right, stayed right in his tracks. His two Hawk defenders blew right by him. Then he spun back to the left and eventually went down. Lynden will call a timeout with just 13 seconds left in the ball at the 18-yard line. You can make an argument at this point that Lynden could just have 5 linemen block, no running back, and 4 other receivers, I should say, then located on the far left side of the field, like just standing by the sideline, and only Blair Bomber in motion. And they could still complete it to him time and time again. He just gets open. It doesn't matter. You recognize that he is going to be the intended target, and 2, 3, 4 defenders are sizing him up. He gets open, and once the ball is in his hands, oh, I feel for you at that point, because it's difficult to even get your hand on him. And even then, more likely than not, he's not going to come down. As we close out the first half of play, Cody Addison is being led off the field by the Seahawk training staff, getting an early walk into the locker room. Out of the timeout, ball the 18. Might be the final offensive play before Joel Brown comes onto the field. We'll see if Hastings looks to find Bomber for the 4th time tonight. Going to the back of the end zone. Mavar bats it down. Nice play by Alec. Aceto tried to go up to get it. Caught in Mavar, reading it. Kind of looking to the right, but all along it looked like Aceto was the target. Mavar sizing it up in the sky. And look at him box out. Aceto. Helps to have a physical point guard on your team, huh? Lynden head basketball coach Brian Roper might want to keep an eye on Mavar this year, as with the Lions and Seahawks, they could be meeting late in February if these two teams play out like a lot of people expect them to. But for now, we're talking football, and it is all Lions at that. Brown on to punch it in from about 31 yards. Kick nowhere near the uprights.
Field goal attempt is no good.
That will do it from the first half of
That's
play.
the end of the first half.
Field goal's no good, but it is little water off the Lions' back at this point as they lead 34-0 as we get for your San Juan Toffee halftime report. This is Anacortes High School football. We'll get you all caught up in the first 24 minutes of play when we come back for the halftime report. It's Anacortes High School football on the wheel. We'll return in 2 minutes.
Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has proudly served the North Sound region for nearly 20 years. But we've never been more excited than right now. That's because now we are Green Built certified, which means our high-efficiency on-demand water heaters, dual flush toilets, geothermal heat pumps, solar hot water, and PV panels, plus wind turbines all enable us to redefine our tradition of quality, value, and energy savings. Thinking green is thinking Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Cedro Woolley.
Hey, this is Rocky, the talking rockfish, trying to find out what makes the Rockfish Grill such a great place.
The food, they use a lot of local, fresh fish.
The atmosphere is great. The people are friendly.
It has great location, great food, great atmosphere, and great people to work in here.
I love the beer. The beer. The beer. The beer.
The great music, it's a local spot, man. This is how we roll.
It's the best family place in all of Anacortes.
Hey, see for yourself. The Rockfish Grill, located at 320 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Want an affordable family feast that everyone will love? Our home-style buffet at the Royal Fork Restaurant can't be beat. Right now at the Royal Fork Restaurant in Mount Vernon, kids eat any meal and only pay the lunch price. That's right, 59 cents per year of age through age 12. That's the deal. Kids eat dinner and only pay for lunch. So grab the clan and have dinner at the Royal Fork Restaurant off Freeway Drive in Mount Vernon. The affordable family feast that can't be beat.
San Juan Toffee Anacortes is one sweet shop. They've got 16 flavors of toffees and brittle, organic honeys from the Northwest, delicious jams and jellies, specialty foods, baskets at low prices with products you won't find at the market, and a whole lot more. Experience the toffee the Candyman calls the world's best. That's the seal of approval you can find anywhere. San Juan Toffee. Everything you love about toffee, only softer. Located at 2702 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Halftime score. Rarely would you say that an injury for the opposing team actually hurt the opposing defense's chances of stopping their opponents. What I'm getting at is David Gaylord going down with an injury after coming up with a huge first down reception when the score still scoreless in the first quarter. Actually was a train wreck of an injury for Anacortes because Kurt Cramey then completely allowed his quarterback to open up the passing game. Jordan Hastings was then allowed to make decision after decision in the air. He barely even looked at the ground game unless it was him doing the running, and that became a whole heap of trouble for the Seahawks because they were just being taken apart, and it was a mincemeat show at that point for the Seahawks as Blair Bomber, along with Ryan Cito, did whatever they felt in the passing game. Then again, Jordan Hastings, when he did decide to run with it, the Hawks could barely get a hand on him because they were anticipating pass that you typically only had 3 or 4 down linemen for the Seahawks looking to give any push and any anticipation and aggression to Hastings. He had a 68-yard run. He had a 15-yard run. And with no sacks to his name, his yard per carry is sick right now if you're a Seahawk fan. Jordan Hastings is averaging in excess of 17 yards a carry, has that touchdown on the ground, also has the 3 touchdowns to Blair Bomber. The first 2 for Bomber was a just beautiful, a seamless, perfect pass over the middle for about 15 yards that made the score 6-0 with a Brown extra point. It was 7-zip. Another long touchdown got Bomber in the mix as well. And the final one was just a 23-yard go pattern to the end zone that gave Bomber 3 touchdowns as well. You add on the interception by Blair, and it has been a night to remember for a superstar who basically has these nights every single week. But as we mentioned, it just hasn't been Bomber. He's been the guy that we've singled out because of some of the catches he had. I still can't get over that one-handed dipsy-do reverse of a reception where he just palmed the ball in his left hand and brought it in as he's being tugged to the ground and jerked to the floor. That catch, of course, above anything beyond the Call of Duty in doing what his team needed to get them inside the red zone. That was probably the play of the night so far by Bomber. But his team all around has put the Lions in position to come away with a fairly seamless and easy victory over a Seahawk team that was showing a lot of tenacity, a lot of grit, a lot of fight in the first half. But at this point, you wonder if Kurt Ramey is kind of wondering, got the game of the season next week against Burlington, have a 5-touchdown lead. I doubt we would see any of the regular stars depart in the third quarter of play, but Jordan Hastings at this point has done all he can need to do. And with Gaylord already out, and we would presume that he would not come back in unless just to make sure that he gets the blood flowing back in his body, that we would not see Gaylord, and that might become a recurring theme of the second half for guys like Bomber and a lot of the Lions at this point that basically have locked this game up and set them up for a showdown of the season next week against Burlington. Now on the flip side, we'll touch on Anacortes and the reasons why they have struggled so far in this game. We'll definitely talk about that first possession, which I'm sure the Seahawks wish they could have back, narrowly missing out on 6 points against the Lynden Lions in the first possession of the game. Then it turned to a field goal opportunity. That didn't work, and, of course, the game has kind of spiraled out of control from this point on. So we'll touch on Anacortes and their offense and defensive woes. When we return, this is the San Juan Toffee halftime report. We'll take an additional 2-minute break and be back with more with the Anacortes High School football team back in 2 minutes.
I believe fishing is half sport, half religion.
Beer is by far the best sports drink there is.
15, so I was going to do 3 little ones.
They're called socks.
Bacon is
Yeah.
my favorite food group.
I have never jumped over a puddle.
I've cooked my dinner with an acetylene torch.
It's not something you wear, it's something you are. Carhartt works strong.
Carhartt work clothes for men are available at Siebel's Hardware, located at 1102 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Skagit Bank, a local bank served by local people that hasn't changed for 50 years. We help families and businesses reach their financial goals. As a full-service bank, we offer checking and savings, online banking, loans, investments, financial planning, and so much more. Come on in and see why you won't find better customer service anywhere. We have 14 convenient branches in Skagit, Whatcom, and Snohomish counties. Or log on to SkagitBank.com for more information. Skagit State Bank, your hometown bank. Member FDIC.
Don't you wish you were getting better gas mileage? Well, when you come into Fidalgo Bay Express Lube, our 15-point star service will help identify problems that may be lowering your fuel efficiency. We feature Haviland with new Deposit Shield. It's designed to protect your engine from harmful deposits with its unique additive package because a clean engine runs better. So stop by today at Fidalgo Bay Express Lube, located at 1319 O Avenue in Anacortes. Texaco Express Lube Haviland with Deposit Shield. Protect precious.
Your walls are your canvas. Your life is your inspiration. And your paint is Benjamin Moore. Benjamin Moore Paints, the backdrop to your life.
Benjamin Moore Paints, nowadays hardware here in Anacortes, 1720 Q Avenue.
Halftime report, the score is 34-0. Lynden on top as they have dominated this first half of play. Moving to the Seahawks, to the hometown team, representing their final game for the seniors as it is senior night. What more can you say at this point? It's been a season of struggles at this point, but through the first 7 games of the year, Anacortes had been competitive in 5 of those 7, up to halftime at least, outside of the Bellingham and Burlington games. This team has been with it, and especially in 4 of those games, they were leading at halftime. It's kind of changed a little bit for worse in the last few games as the Hawks have struggled. That is the case tonight as they trail 34-0. And you also want to make the Washington State comparison. We've heard from Cougar coaches as of late that in certain games when the scores start to mount and the injuries do as well, they just want to get everybody out healthy. And for a Seahawk team who has lost Chris Stoneham for the season, Ryan Taylor likely out for the season, Trevor White came in questionable and banged up, and now Addison leaving the first half early with what appeared to be a left wrist, left hand injury, and maybe sophomore Hayden Knight now coming into the game. The Hawks probably are of the mindset that they just want to make sure they run their routes, make sure their schemes and their strategy is still in order, but that the injuries don't increase in mount and create any more paralyzing problems for this team as they do trail 34-0. However, it's like the first half was missing any excitement or totally devoid of any confidence-inspiring plays. That first drive of tonight, and I know it doesn't sound like it should be held in high regard to the Squalicum drive last week and the drive we saw earlier in the season against Mount Vernon that missed out on a touchdown. But even though the Seahawks missed scoring any points, to go 3 for 3 on 4th downs against a Lynden Lion team, the defense was already showing signs of creating a lot of turmoil in the backfield, just shows you that the mentality and the mindset was sharp, and it was of an entire different animal for the Hawks tonight. Even though they've had an opportunity time and time again this season to start offensively in the first possession of the game, there seems to be something missing sometimes. It just doesn't seem like all 11 players are totally locked in to meet the common goal that they need to find to succeed offensively. That wasn't missing tonight. If it was Alex Mavar coming up with 2 catches for 18 yards, Mark Medalla coming up with 2 huge 4th down receptions. The team was locked and loaded, and they were firing on all cylinders. Unfortunately, the drive eventually stalled at about the 13-yard line, and Mike Olson, normally an extremely reliable kicker from that range, just tugged it a little to the left. That was no good. And Lion offense came on the field, and, man, they were on the hunt. I mean, they were just on the prowl from the start. Hastings did his thing, and even though the Seahawks forced a 3rd and 9, it was David Gaylord, and the one play he made totally altering the makeup and dynamic of this game. It just shows you how confident, how supremely confident Kurt Cramey is. They go to a screen on 3rd and 9 from the 43-yard line, just a little dunk into the hands of Mr. Gaylord, and he did it from there. He took it for about 8 yards before falling forward and just trying to claw and scratch his way for the extra 2 yards. Got the first down, but Landon Macy didn't lay a big-time blow on him. That's when Gaylord got up a little stiff, a little rigid, a little lacking of stamina at that point. You could see he was breathing pretty hard. Coaches brought him out. We haven't seen Gaylord since, but his impact was felt. That set up the first down, and eventually the Blair Bomber touchdown as he took off and burned Shane Hardsey into the end zone for his first of 3 scores tonight. So that made it 7-zip, and it's kind of unraveled from that point on for the Seahawks as they've been able to move the offense here and there, but nothing like that first drive of the night, which really put them in business, but unfortunately did not lead to a score. So we sit at halftime, 34-0. Anacortes will have to kick away to Lynden to open up the second half. And our biggest question is, how many of those starting Lions will we see throughout the third quarter and the remainder of this game? As we close out the San Juan Toffee halftime report, my name is Brian Johnson. We'll be back with kickoff from the second half when we return with more of Anacortes High School football on the Whale. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
When you laid your course for a secure financial future, you hoped for smooth sailing. But now we're getting storm watches and small craft advisories. I'm Duncan Frazier of Anacortes Financial Associates. Our team of independent, fee-based professionals is dedicated to helping people identify and implement sensible financial strategies. When you're headed into unfamiliar waters, it's good to have someone to help you stay on course. Give us a call. Our home port is downtown Anacortes.
Securities offered through NPC, member FINRA, SIPC. Anacortes Financial Associates and NPC are separate and unrelated companies.
El Jinete Mexican Restaurant in Anacortes has been family run for over 20 years. That's why we take pride in supporting high school football. Our authentic food is prepared with only the freshest of ingredients. From tasty tostadas to delicious enchiladas, you'll find something to love on our menu. Enjoy the best margaritas in town, along with a full-service premium bar. El Jinete. Our name may be hard to remember, but you'll never forget our delicious Mexican food. El Jinete, 509 Commercial Avenue, next to the post office in Anacortes.
Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation offers rehab programs at its location in the Cannery Building near the Seafarers Building in Anacortes. Whether you're recovering from a back injury or stroke, whether in need of speech therapy, occupational therapy, or sports rehab, we're here to help. Call 299-1328. Our staff has more than 200 years of combined experience to get you back to your active life. Visit Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at our beachfront location or call 299-1328.
Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has proudly served the North Sound region for nearly 20 years. But we've never been more excited than right now. That's because now we are Green-Built certified, which means our high-efficiency on-demand water heaters, dual-flush toilets, geothermal heat pumps, solar hot water, and PV panels, plus wind turbines all enable us to redefine our tradition of quality, value, and energy savings. Thinking green is thinking Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Cedro Woolley.
Hey, this is Rocky, the talking rockfish. Trying to find out what makes the Rockfish Grill such a great place.
The food's a lot of local, fresh fish.
The atmosphere's great, the people are friendly.
It has great location, great food, great atmosphere, and great people to work in here.
I love the beer. The beer. The beer. The beer.
The great music. It's a local spot, man. This is how we roll.
It's the best family place in all of Anacortes.
Hey, see for yourself. The Rockfish Grill, located at 320 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Want an affordable family feast that everyone will love? Our home-style buffet at the Royal Fork Restaurant can't be beat. Right now at the Royal Fork Restaurant in Mount Vernon, kids eat any meal and only pay the lunch price. That's right, just 59 cents per year of age through age 12. That's the deal. Kids eat dinner and only pay for lunch. So grab the clan and have dinner at the Royal Fork Restaurant off Freeway Drive in Mount Vernon.
Pretty reasonably up until really early in mid-October, and something is happening with the Mariners program right now. Their football teams, they lost to Blaine 42-19 last night. They've had some crooked numbers hung on them in recent memory, and with their playoff hopes slipping away, it'll be a couple teams that are just trying to end the season on a high note next week. But we have to get to that point first, and we still have a couple quarters left to go at War Memorial. Now again, Seahome putting up some just dangerous figures in the first half of plays. They lead 34-0. A run game that has controlled this offense at an optimum level this season hasn't disappeared intentionally. It was due to the injury to Gaylord, but picking up his slack has been the quarterback. And to see Jordan Hastings immediately respond and pick up a total of 83 yards in just 2 carries lets you know that this team doesn't skip a beat even with some huge injuries. And again, for those of you watching at home, checking out Whale TV, if you're asking yourself, man, these kids have been on the money tonight, the replays, every single moment that you've been able to have the pleasure of watching has been made possible by the Anacortes High School Media Department. One of the reasons they are right on the money is because these kids are not hungry. They've been fed. Phil's Pizza stepping up again for us, delivering a bunch of pizzas to our van working below, located at 807 Commercial Avenue. You can always make sure that you never leave home hungry. Always have that kind of feast for your entire family at a reasonable price by contacting Village Pizza today, located in Anacortes. They are making sure that our friends down in the van at the Anacortes Media Department who's broadcasting Whale TV are nice, hungry, not ornery, fed and ready to go for tonight's broadcast. And this will be our final Whale TV broadcast of the season. I brought the Kleenex. Director Hannah Holgertz was bawling earlier, was extremely saddened by this. It's okay though, Hannah. We'll get it together. Just 24 minutes remains, and a tough luck game for the Seahawks as they trail 34-0. Lions will get ready to receive as we're winding down the final few seconds of the San Juan Toffee halftime report. Hawks running game has been non-existent tonight. That has been the case this season, but the passing game was brilliant early on. Cody Addison was just kind of picking and plucking and making sure that Alec Mavar, along with Mark Medaglia, had ample opportunities to help with some big plays. Now, with Addison leaving late in the first half, we're kind of keeping a close eye on the sidelines to see how he's moving around. He's sitting on the bench without his helmet on right now. And if Cody is unable to go in the second half, sophomore Hayden Knight, a guy who's getting a ton of rep, playing an assortment of positions. Defensively, he would be able to get in. Half number 2. Here we go. Mike Olson getting ready to lift it off into Blair Bomber's hands. And Olson will be able to chip it to Blair at about the 13-yard line. Taking a look to the left side of the field. Bomber is going to get some speed underneath. And there goes Bomber down the sidelines, past midfield to the 47-yard line. Picking up right where he left off.
Return for Lynden.
Blair Bomber
Lions will begin
accumulating a horrific amount of yardage tonight. His all-purpose numbers are going to look like a misprint. You are going to have to contact the editor of several daily papers to confirm these numbers at the completion of today, because they will not be believable. A return of 31 yards, 33 yards actually. Puts the Lions into Seahawk territory to open up the second half of play. We'll see if they go to the ground game to become a little more conservative offensively. They will hand it off on first down. Olsen making a tackle right at midfield. No chance
Tackle
for
by
Brett
Mike Olsen for Anacortes. No gain on the play.
Olsen
Second down
along
and
with
10,
Landon
Lions.
Macy, and that was a forearm shiver shake by Macy, one of my favorites. You get an offensive player wrapped up, and just as they're starting to fall down, you get to go and tee off them. Second and 10 is Bima picks up nothing. Going to the air, Hasty a little low. Looked like it hit the ground. Guess not. There goes Weeks to the 30, out of the 29-yard line. That ball looked extremely short. It looked like it bounced. Well, not bounced, it looked like it skidded. Let's take a check on Whale TV. Low, that hit the ground and rolled. You saw the ball almost spin into Weeks' hands.
It's evidently complete. First down and 10 Lions.
At least everyone has a sense of humor at this point, as we heard our PA announcer make all evidently complete. What are you going to do? Gain of about 20 after it skipped on the ground. First and 10 at the 31. With Whale TV for home games, we should start a petition and push for instant replay. I will be the final purveyor of said decisions, and I will be extremely partisan. On the ground again, Hastings.
Carried
Little
by
skip here,
Jordan Hastings
a little
for
skip there.
Lions.
He gets a couple. Jordan, you are hurting
Mark
yards per
Medaglia,
carry at this
tackle
point.
for Anacortes.
Medaglia makes the play. Gain of a couple. Anacortes' defense still persevering and not bowing out. Pride just radiates from the Seahawk sideline and staff. Not pleased with the results, but they will never cave in. Second down. Going to the ground is Bomber inside the 15.
Carried by Blair Bomber.
I get the feeling it is a common occurrence to watch Blair Bomber and to have to
First
start
down and 10,
squinting to
Lynden.
make sure that it is indeed number 23 carrying the ball, because his jersey is so trashed and just tarnished with mud at this point in most games. He is all over the field, just taking whatever measures necessary to make the play happen, and if that means rolling around, diving all over the place and skidding on the surface, he'll do it. But His jersey was basically caked in mud halfway through the first quarter, yet it's almost impossible not to tell it's number 23 running the ball in his style, so he could run without a number on it. He would still be painfully aware that it is Blair Baum with it. Little toss to the side will yield a couple yards for the Lions. Olsen read it nicely, but knew that Bajima was going to get it. And he gets a couple more. I think I'm going to set the record for most times pronouncing Brett's name differently. I'm on pace to hit about 6 right now. I think I'm sitting at 4. We'll try to avoid that for the future of the final 20 minutes of promises, Brett, especially if you keep getting touches. 34-0, 8:45 to go. Ball inside the 20-yard line out of the shotgun with 3 receivers lined to the right, 1 to the left. Let's see if Hastings can get another touchdown. Putting it on the ground. Hard run forward inside the 5-yard line. Sizzling with size again.
Carried by Brett Bina for Lynden.
Lima puts it forward and
Sam Perkins
gets inside the 10-yard line.
First down and goal, Lions.
8:20 to go. Options galore for the Lions at this point. Bomber has those 3 scores in the air. And all 3 touchdowns coming from the arm of Jordan Hastings. Let's see if he can get one more. He'll keep it himself. Get to the goal line and in. Jordan Hastings, second touchdown of the night. Give it to him. Hastings has now been a part of all 5 touchdowns. He's thrown for 3, run for 2. The score is now 40-0 with 7:56 to go.
Joel Brown on to attempt the point after.
Joel Brown comes in. He's missed only 1 extra point tonight. He's not going to do it again. A lot of power in those legs. And Brown puts it through. It's 1-0 with 7:56 to go. Seahawks ready to grab another opportunity offensively. This is Anacortes High School football on the way. Return in 30 seconds.
San Juan Toffee in Anacortes is one sweet shop. They've got 16 flavors of toffees and brittle, organic honeys from the Northwest, delicious jams and jellies, specialty foods, gift baskets at low prices with products you won't find at the market, and a whole lot more. Experience the toffee the Candyman calls the world's best. That's the sweetest seal of approval you can find anywhere. San Juan Toffee. Everything you love about toffee, only softer. Located at 2702 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Joel Brown to
back.
kick off.
Brown gets ready to kick off.
Wyatt Hendricks, Carranza Farrell, deep for the
Before every
Sox.
game, we go down, chat with the coaches, make sure, pick every name, check it twice, make sure the pronunciation is there. And I might have grabbed the wrong assistant coach for Pima, the same Bajima. That's what I was told. I'm sorry, Brett. Had a parent come up here and tell me otherwise, and that's good to know.
Again, first down and 10, their own
saying your
32-yard
name right.
line.
I'm not doing the kicking here. It's Joel Brown, and it's kicked to about the 30-yard line. Puck's fall on it at the 32. Out on the field at quarterback for the Anacortes Seahawks. Looks to be we're going to have a Wildcat. He's confused. It is Farrell. Going to Hendricks up to the 40.
Wyatt Hendricks on the run for the Seahawks.
Difficult to tell sometimes.
Gain of 9 on the run, second down and 1.
With what Seahawks are going to try to show to you and what type of formations, but maybe it is in that Wildcat look where Farrell has the option of running or pitching. He actually is in at quarterback, something unique, as Farrell has not done much work at quarterback all season. Desperate times, though. You know the rest.
By Lynden, Macy.
And off to Macy. Gain of 2. Should be a first down.
Gain,
it is.
First down and 10.
Back-to-back runs. Get the Hawks a first down. Boy, it feels good to say that. Outside of the Burlington game late in the third quarter, you have not been able to look at the running backs to expect consistent ground gains. Well, the Hawks pick up 11 here. Farrell trying to roll it. Maybe a yard.
Carried by
a lot of yellowing on that one.
Gain of 1, second down and 9, Seahawks.
It's 2nd and 9. We'll see if Farrell gets a chance to go to the air as Zolman steps off. Back in as Macy. He'll join Corinne's in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Handoff again. Nothing. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4.
Shane Phipps with
Phipps
the carry
gets
for
it.
Anacortes.
And
No
Susan
gain
9
on the
carries
play.
is
Third
9.
down and 9, Seahawks.
And that's about all you can expect from Shane White or Landon. They
Tackled
have
by
been in that
Taylor
mold of
Creighton
about
for
4 to
Lynden.
10 carries maximum, as the Hawks have no problem mixing up whatever running backs get in the backfield. They'd like to find a consistent one, just haven't been able to this season. So 3rd down, Farrell going to go to Macy, loss of 2.
Carried by
Colin
Lynden
Burke
Macy.
in there. As Lynden anticipating a run with Farrell in there,
2 on the play.
Vegas
4th down
right
and
as
11,
Carinza
Seahawks.
has yet to be granted permission to pass the ball, and as a running back, it's understandable why. 4th down, Farrell stay on the field. He'll get a chance to punt it away. Try to grab one fake punt tonight, didn't work. Doubt we'll see it here. High punt, nice job by Corinne just to get it, but look at that kick. Nice kick. In over end and a beautiful bounce, and this could get inside the 20. Get in there, let it roll. Right on top of the 20-yard line. Nice kick, right about 40 yards.
Lynden will begin.
And
1st
Lynden
down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
will begin their 2nd possession of the 2nd half at their own 20-yard line. 4:59 remains, it's 41-0. Lynden on top. This is Anacortes High School football on the way out. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
I believe fishing is half sport, half religion.
Beer is by far the best sports drink there is.
Slippers, they're called socks. Bacon is my favorite group.
I have never jumped over a puddle.
I've cooked my dinner with an acetylene torch.
It's not something you wear, it's something you are. Carhartt works strong.
Carhartt work clothes for men are available at Siebel's Hardware, located at 1102 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Going to the air. Hastings loses a couple. He's on 1st and 10. Seahawk defense all over. Short yardage passing game. And Perkins.
Jordan Weeks.
Jordan Weeks picked up the catch, but
Loss of 2
he was
on the
being
play.
hunted immediately.
Tackle by Sam Perkins for Anacortes. 2nd down and 12, Lynden.
4 minutes left. 41-0. Lynden in control and in possession at their own 17. Loss of 3. That's the largest loss tonight by the Seahawks. And Lynden will respond by spreading out that offense. Oh boy. 4 receivers. Handing it off though and losing a yard or 2 in the backfield. Down
Carried
goes
by Roman Reyna.
Roman
for
Reyna.
Lynden.
Mixing it up a little. Bima was doing most of the carries once Gaylord went down, but it looks
Gain on the
like
play.
Reyna's
3rd
going to get
down
the second for a little bit.
12, Lynden.
Cameron Cannell steps off. 3rd down. Will Jordan get permission to pass it? Anacortes hopes not. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Blair Bomber, I see you. Taking all the time in the world, and why would he not with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter? Here's the snap. Looking across the middle. Can he find Weeks? Throws back and complete to the 32. Ryan Cito,
Pass
1st down.
complete to Ryan Cito.
Cito is going to be in the
13-yard
forgotten
gain, 1st
receiver
down and
tonight.
10,
That's the
Lynden.
effect that Blair Bomber can have on you, but Cito is one of the reasons why this Lynden team is undefeated in 2A play. While we have kind of had fun and jest with Blair Bomber's size, Cito is one guy you don't need to mess around with when you talk about that avenue of effect. He is 6'5", 210, and he looks every bit of it. 2:20 to go, 41 zip. Ooh, having issues in the backfield. It's Cameron Cannells. He'll hold on to it and go down to the ground.
Tackle for a loss by Sam Perkins.
As Perkins will tackle him for a loss. Hastings is out, and he may be done for good.
2nd down, 14, Lynden.
Cameron Cannells has almost Not the exact same makeup, because size-wise, there's a nice 4-inch difference between him and Jordan Hastings, 15 pounds between the two. You watch these two warm up, and it just seems like they're copycats of each other in a positive way. I mean, they've got the same motion, the same release point. And I almost had a difficult time figuring out who was who watching them in warm-ups. It looks like Cannell's just had to spell Hastings briefly because Jordan's back in with 1:20 to go on 2nd and 14, and he's going to look long. 5-step drop going across the edges, incomplete pass. Did Mavar get a hand on it? He did. Brower couldn't bring it in. Mavar is just a bastion of broken passes. Doesn't matter what the score is, Alec Mavar will not take a playoff, and he will not take a second to even hesitate on what is necessary to come up a big play to diffuse a potential long pass, knocking it down and forcing 3rd and long. Minute 17 to go. Ball is located at the 28-yard line. Hastings still in, and he won't get it off.
Flag on the field.
There is a flag on the field. And Mark Medallia kind of wishing that whistle not be blown because he had a beat on Jordan Hastings.
For $1.50.
Officials having a little discussion about the penalty. That
so
hand.
Go down and get your pizza and hot dogs.
Lynden anticipating it on them. They'll back up. Got to credit the Lions as they stayed extremely focused tonight, dealt with the task at hand, and knowing that this should be a game they should be able to breathe and just kind of breeze through. They didn't take the Seahawks for lightly. They did. They woke up pretty quick and pretty abruptly after that first drive, but it would be easy for Lynden to completely bypass the Seahawks and worry about Burlington next week. They haven't done it, and the scoreboard indicates so. Putting a hurting on Anacortes, and they may not be done yet. It's going to be difficult to differentiate
5-yard
some differences between Lynden and Burlington if you judge the final score between those two teams when they played against Anacortes, because there may not be any noticeable differences at all. Burlington came away with a 59-zip win at home. Lynden on the road did 41 with 1:14 to go. And now a 3rd down and short as Hastings is going to walk off. Cannell's back on the field at the 38-yard line. Grammy barking out orders to his young sophomore quarterback. He's going to have to wait a while to get starting duties on with a junior like Hastings in front of him, but if you run like that, son, you may get a lot of time. Cannell's up ahead to the 43-yard line. Gain of 20.
For Lynden.
Both quarterbacks putting in work. They get a chance to run today. Hayden Knight comes over and brings him down at the 43.
Fumble on the play.
Cannell's watched the C part and immediately able to scurry up the middle, get some big-time yardage. 35 seconds remain in the final 3rd quarter of this regular season home schedule for Anacortes. We still should have those consolation games lined up in the first week of November. The last chance to watch Anacortes against a Northwest Conference team, and there may not be another one better in play than Lynden, but we'll find out next week. Boy, you're a Lynden fan. How excited are you? Hawks will get it at the 37-yard line. It was 3rd and 1,000 or 4th and 1,000 for the Lions, even with that run. Anacortes will still get to take over.
Fumble on the field. Recovered by the Lynden Lions.
Wow. Lynden had a quick little siesta on the sideline, enough to grab some water, maybe a little Gatorade if coaches splurged today. Don't think they had time to sound because Hawks fumbled it right away. Lions jump back on it. That'll be fumble number 2 picked up by the Lions tonight. Add that to the 3 interceptions, and it has been a tunnel of turnovers tonight for the Lions. This should be the final play of the 3rd quarter, hopefully, as the score sits at 41-0. Cannell's in. Hastings staying out for the time being. Going to the ground. Nice play in the backfield as Reyna loses a couple. Shane Phipps makes a play. That'll be 2nd and 11. Haven't seen Bomber in a while. Ryan Cito's been sitting out for the past few minutes and wisely conserving his stars at this point in the game. With the score 41-0 in the third quarter closing out, it's backup time for the Lions as they are in control. It'll be 2nd and 12. We return to the fourth quarter of play. This is Anacortes High School football on the Whale. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Skagit State Bank, a local bank served by local people that hasn't changed for 50 years. We help families and businesses reach their financial goals. As a full-service bank, we offer checking and savings, online banking, loans, investments, financial planning, and so much more. Come on in and see why you won't find better customer service anywhere. We have 4 convenient branches in Skagit, Whatcom, and Snohomish counties. Or log on to SkagitBank.com for more information. Skagit State Bank, your hometown bank. Member FDIC.
You ready for some fourth quarter action? Lions taking over after a little fumbleooski, but Phipps coming up with tackle for loss. Roman Reyna's lost 5 yards on a couple of carries, but he'll get plenty of touches and chances in the fourth quarter, as it looks like Kurt Cramey's going to stick with him for good. Last 12 minutes from War Memorial. Here we go. Cannels will start things off for the Lions as he gaze out into the secondary to see what the Seahawk defense is deciding to do. 3 down linemen will let Cannels go to the air and kind of caught off guard was Ben Vanderhook. He just reacts, sticks those hands up there, but Vanderhook had it knocked down by Perkins. Both teams get a little testy at this point, and understandably so. They've been going at it in some chilly conditions tonight, as Lynden left out to a big first half lead and it is carried over into the second half. That 34-point lead is scaled into a 41-0 lead. On 3rd down, looking far side, completion is made. Nolan Goody will get inside the 40. Goody will still be a little short though. Nice job making Phipps miss. Couple tacklers actually had a chance to bring down Goody. He ends up getting 15. Man, working hard to pick up yard after yard. The Lynden Lions story of the night, as it is 41-0, 30 seconds in. 4th and 1. Let's go for it. Cannels. Well, what should I do, Coach? How about just let the defense give me 5 yards?
On the field.
Looks like the Hawks a little jubilant, a little antsy, a little excited as they peer across that line of scrimmage first. We'll see if there was an instigator on the offensive side.
Offside.
Offside. Seahawks free first downs. Handed up by the Seahawk defense on 4th and 1. No Corinza Farrell and Alec Mavar at this point. Wyatt Hendrick, Landon Macy, they also are standing on the sidelines with their team down one, giving some of the youngsters a chance as Coach Bell, as this will be the future of Anacortes football, as they get an opportunity to play some youngsters against the Lynden Lions. Scooting to his left, faking the pitch and paying for it at the 29-yard line as Phipps gets in there to take down Cannels. Gain of 2-3 yards. I'll tell you, it just says so much about Coach Cramey that he takes a couple of these guys that are comfortable or natural and rolling to their right, especially in option situations, rolling to their right. And Coach Cramey trusts them to go left and pitch left. I mean, you guys at the college level that have coaching staffs that don't want to take that kind of risk and don't trust their players. But after watching Cannels and Jordan Hastings did it twice tonight, I see why these guys are in such zone. This pass falls incomplete. Looked like it was in Groves' hands. Just cocking up and letting it fire to Groves inside the 10-yard line as it was right in his hands, but he couldn't hold on to it. So Colby Wright was in the neighborhood. But we saw Hastings run that option to the left twice, to see Cannels do it once. And they haven't gotten major yardage, but there just doesn't seem to be an inch of hesitancy. And when you run the option, got to be confident in your ability and know at the exact split-second when to get rid of it. And going to the left, it's got to be even more difficult. But boy, Lynden has been on a roll. Whatever they've done tonight, be it the option pass or QB keeper. Pass goes to Brower. It's incomplete, so it's 4th down. 9 yards separates the Lions and the first down marker. Brown probably out of his range, definitely out of his range, I should say, at the 30-yard line. So they'll just keep the offense on the field and maybe let Candles run with it or chuck it up once more to see if he can get a first down. Hawks trying to get the ball back. They need to stop here. Anacortes baiting in the Lions to think it's a blitz. We'll see if they come. 4th down. Cass calls for it. Here comes the blitz. Medallia got a beat on. Hard hit. Ball's going to be hanging in the air. And a Lynden Lion comes down with it. Let's see which one, though. Blake Groves.
Pass complete.
He hauls it in to make it 47-0. Man, just getting punished as Candles. 2 Seahawks were in the end zone as Groves, along with Nolan Goody, had a chance for it, but Groves just pulled it down. Speaks volumes about the passing game for Lynden when they
Joel Brown
have a pass in the end zone, one-on-one coverage with a Seahawk defender. And while there's plenty of purple around Groves and Goody, those are the only 2 players fighting for the ball. Groves comes up with it, and he extends the score to 47. Zip ball goes on the ground, though. And the extra point will not be attempted as the Seahawks for the 2nd time tonight come up with a stop in the extra point department as the score still sits then at 47-0. 10 left in the final quarter of the final home game for the Anacortes Seahawks. They trail 47. This is Seahawk High School football on the way. We'll return in 30 seconds.
Don't you wish you were getting better gas mileage? Well, when you come into Hidalgo Bay Express Lube, our 15-point star service will help identify and fix problems that may be lowering your fuel efficiency. We feature Haviland with new Deposit Shield. It's designed to protect your engine from harmful deposits with its unique additive package because the engine runs better. So stop by today at Hidalgo Bay Express Lube, located at 1319 O Avenue in Anacortes. Texaco Express Lube and Haviland with Deposit Shield. Protect precious metals.
Zip is our score. Final 10 minutes to go. Hey, remember, if you would like a copy of tonight's broadcast, you can call our station at 293-3141. That's 293-3141. For $15, we'll have a DVD in your hands by the end of the week, made possible with the Anacortes High School Media Department as Corinne Farrell gets it back to the 30-yard line. And again, our broadcast club happy and not hungry tonight because Village Pizza stepping up at 807 Commercial Ave and hooking them up with several pizzas. How many pizzas you guys get tonight? 2? 2 large, 12 Cokes. Somehow in transit to the actual broadcast booth, those pizzas were lost and remained solely in the van. Generosity, a staple of the Whale. Farrell's going to take it. Ooh, man. Getting spun around helmet to helmet. Kearns goes down as there's a couple flags on the play. Farrell's another guy. He's been hurt all year, hampered with injuries. It is impossible to keep him off the field, though. Loses his helmet here. He just wants to get in and help out his team. While Mavar may have most of the highlight reel plays, Carinza has by far the 2 most exciting plays of the season. First game of the season, still trying to get a feel for this team. It's 0-0. Ray Walzer is chugging along, moving the Mount Vernon Bulldogs inside the red zone. Tries to find Colin Finley-Meyer towards the end zone. Kearns Farrell says, no, sir, I have different plans. Picks off Walzer. And that 90-yard return, I mean, they immediately had the fire department out with extinguishers that were trying to run behind Carinza to put out the flames that he was leaving up that sideline. I mean, he just scorched the field, outran everybody, took it to the house, 90 yards, and he did it again against Bellingham on a kick return. He is just a fighter. On 1st and 20, there goes Carinza as he skips forward to about the 20. Nothing picked up. Holding penalty was called previously that stuck the Seahawks back.
2 on the play, 2nd down, 18, Seahawks.
Second down and 18 as we watch that clock tick closer and closer to the end of tonight's contest. Farrell, he'll keep it again. Gets past a couple Lions to the 35-yard line, 25-yard line, I should say.
Carry by Carranza.
Pick up a 3-4 yards. We'll see if Farrell gets a shot to pass it. Not a quarterback, but with Addison out,
Gain of 5 on
Stoneham
the play.
out for the season.
Third down, 13,
Hayden Knight
Seahawks.
apparently not available. We'll see if Carranza can pretend to be a quarterback here. Nope, gonna run to the far side with it. Makes one, maybe two Lions miss. It'll delay
Carry by
the
Carranza,
eventual hit, which
Farrell.
comes at about the 3 pickup of 5 yards. Makes it 4th and 9. We'll see if they mark him out of bounds. Nope, that
Gain
clock
of
will keep
5 on the play. Fourth
ticking
down
away.
and 8,
4th
Seahawks.
and 8, back-to-back 3 and outs as the Seahawks not able to get any yardage. Well, they did get a first down with Phipps and Macy in that previous possession, but then going 3 and out. Ball at the 32. We'll see if Carranza can put another beauty away. Oof, almost blocked. Taking a flying bounce as Phipps hops on it at the 47. Lynden went 80 yards in their last drive. They're only 50 yards away, 53 yards to be exact away from a score that would make it 53-0. Lions step back on the field, leading 47-0. As we'll stay with you for the final 8 minutes and get a quick read on who the Seahawks have on the field. A lot of new faces, a lot of new names as Bell opening up his bench. Shane Hartsey is out at cornerback. Sam Perkins in there. Cy Sharma back at free safety as Cannles will keep it for Lynden. Woof! Making Perkins miss. Hard-earned 2 yards. Sam Perkins doesn't get deked out that easily, but check this play out. Here comes Perkins, and he got fooled. Kansas outruns Gibson. Gets a yard, but Phipps eventually gets in for the tackle. As the clock now reads 7:13, and the time taking closer and closer away towards the end at 2nd and 8. Cannles has looked comfortable running and passing, but he'll go to the ground here as Reina finally gets some positive yards, and he'll get himself a first down, making up for those 2 carries for -5 yards. He moves it all the way up to the 40. Nothing fancy here. That's Reina realizing what needs to be done. Gets past Hartsey and a couple other Seahawk defenders before eventually being wrapped up and taken down by Jerry Penwell. A lot of Seahawk players who have not been used or have been used seldomly this season are getting some minutes here, and even though the score is not in their favor, these are valuable minutes at the varsity level against an awesome opponent. Going again, Arena. And again, there's Jerry Penwell. Nice job by Jerry, back-to-back tackles. Here comes Last Gasper, he's going to come onto the field.
Shane Phipps for the Seahawks.
Mike Olson stepping out.
Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8, Lions.
6 minutes left. Our score reads 47-0. It has been an offensive carousel for the Lions. Round and round they go, and when they stop, no one knows. At least that was the first half as 34 points were put on the board. We haven't seen Blair Bomber since the 3rd quarter. No one is complaining about that fact on the Seahawks sideline.
Cameron Canales on the carry for
Canales
Lynden.
gets a couple more. As he gets inside the 35-yard line.
For the Seahawks. Gain of 2
As the
on
Seahawks
play.
make the
3rd
stuff,
down
we'll
and
see
6,
if
Lions.
Canales has a green light to go to the air at this point. Very delicate balancing act at this point to not try to show up your opponent, tick them off by passing or to appear to be aggressively running to try to get in the end zone. So we'll see what Cramey does. Not going to get a chance to find out. It looks like it would have been that option, but there was a flag going left. I love it. There are certain rules you follow in sports, and one of them is you never question a man that has won 75% of the game's coaching.
5-yard penalty.
Kirk Cramey has earned the right to do whatever he wants. if he wants to call a 6-person flea flicker that looks like a bunch of individuals passing sandbags to fill up a riverbed, and the ball just keeps getting passed back and eventually thrown down, I would not question him. That is how much honor and respect this guy has at this point. 4:45 to go. 3rd and 11. Going to that option, pitching it to the left. Hawks read it. Tried to do it in the previous play before the flag, and they make sure that they jump on it.
Joey Garcia on the carry.
Garcia took it. And the Seahawks, led by Trevor White, make the tackle. Boy, you would be hard-pressed to discover that White was the one who was questionable coming into this game at the defensive tackle position. He looks healthy. And if he still is hurt, he is hitting it well. Moving with grace and speed. He's done a nice job on the field today, plugging up that middle hole. 4 minutes to go. It's 4th and 14. Not punting, and Farrell kind of wondering what's going on as he's all the way back to the 25. Candles is going to go near sideline, incomplete. Hawks will take over midfield. As Daniel Codd, he would have been ready to bat that ball down even if it was completed. Another player for the Seahawks who we didn't get a great opportunity to view and witness his ability until late in the season. We didn't get to see any of Daniel Codd until the Burlington game. But boy, has he made his impact felt since then. This guy is just a treasure to watch. As Farrell takes it for a yard up the middle. 3:40 to go. Hawks trying to get on the board.
On the carry.
Carranza gets it up to midfield. Seahawks still haven't passed with Carranza at
Face mask
quarterback,
penalty
and
on the Lions.
we doubt that we will see him try to step back and throw at this point. Face mask penalty will give the Hawks a couple additional yards. It's too bad that Alex Mavar isn't going to get another chance to come away with the Cats. With his performance in the first quarter alone, with those 4 catches for nearly 60 yards, 6 catches total in the game, he's closing in on a hundo. Be nice to see Mavar get over that 100-yard mark. Had those 2 interceptions last week. Got burned early by Blair Bomber before making a couple great plays defensively, but then, like many of the cornerbacks have seen tonight, not a lot you can do about Bomber. Whoa, Farrell is going to get to try to chuck one, but it's knocked down. I think the Lion defense was caught off guard more than I might have been. Connor Anderson kind of raised his hands at the last minute when he realized Farrell was going to pass it. Element of surprise doesn't work here, but in 4-down territory, Seahawks will get a couple more chances. 3rd and 4, Farrell rolling left. If he gets a block, he's got lots of room. Carranza cuts back inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line, 37-yard line, I should say. Farrell got a little bit of love from Shane Phipps, and that was all he needs. Past the 50 with the ensuing Joel Brown behind him. Tackle was made by Brett Byama. But Farrell was able to use that speed to get inside the 40. 1st and 10, going to the far side again. Ouch, hard hit. Farrell wrapped up, hasn't been taken down though, eventually taken at the 37. Blake Groves got in there to make a hit.
Carried by Carranza. Farrell
trying to get some outside leverage. No room to run. Farrell tries to cut it back. Caleb Richardson in there.
1 on the play. 2nd down and 11, Seahawks.
So were several other line defenders. So 2:35 to go. Anacortes may have a chance to mount one final drive that could get them into the end zone. Let's see if Farrell gets to pass it. He'll keep it and pay for it. Hard hit taken down to the 35. Gain of 2.
Gain of 3 on the play.
Carranza will get 3 to his name. Not a lot of starters remain in this game. There's Mark Medaglia along with Sam Perkins. Dietzman in for Taylor. With 2 minutes to go, the Hawks will give it to Farrell again, and he is stacked up, pushed back, and right back to the 40-yard line. Loss of maybe 3-4, and on 4th down,
Farrell on the carry for Anacortes.
looks like we may see the punt team one more time. Crowd starting to fill out for the Seahawks. They stayed loyal, stayed to the bitter end, but unfortunately, the result not in Anacortes' favor, and time to beat that heavy Anacortes Friday night traffic. With 90 seconds to go, Hawks are going to go for it. Farrell takes it down quickly. Loss of a yard. Oof. Lion tackler down on the field, though, kind of spinning around in agony. Boy, he grabbed that knee immediately. And the Lion coaching staff, by that response, they were triggered immediately to start running out there as the player in question held that knee for dear life. It was spinning around, and oh, it does look like it is Nolan Goody. So with Nolan on the ground and the coaching staff tending to him, we'll take a break as we get ready to close out the final minute 18 from War Memorial Field. 47, Lynden, 0, Anacortes. This is Seahawk High School football on the Whale. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Your walls are your canvas. Your life is your inspiration. And your paint is Benjamin Moore. Benjamin Moore Paints, the backdrop to your life.
Benjamin Moore Paints, nowadays hardware here in Anacortes, 1720 Q Avenue.
When you laid your course for a secure financial future, you hoped for smooth sailing. But now we're getting storm watches and small craft advisories. I'm Duncan Frazier of Anacortes Financial Associates. Our team of independent, fee-based professionals is dedicated to helping people identify and implement sensible financial strategies. When you're headed into unfamiliar waters, it's good to have someone to help you stay on course. Give us a call. Our home port is downtown Anacortes.
Securities offered through NPC, member FINRA SIPC. Anacortes Financial Associates and NPC are separate and unrelated companies.
Well, good news. Nolan Goody got up on his own 2 feet, kind of pushed off the coaches so that I can get off the field on my own. I'm fine. So Nolan's able to walk out as we, for the second straight week, can't avoid a fourth quarter injury. Ryan Taylor went down and had to be carted off on a stretcher last week. It's Nolan tonight, but it looks like he is okay, just a little extra limp. First down. Going to the ground game to seal the deal tonight with the Lions, and they'll get a pickup of about 3 yards. A new name. To report to you, it is Cody Braum with his first carry tonight.
Tackled by Dan
Cody,
Dexman.
Roman.
Second down and 8, Lynden.
Let's see, we had Brett and David Gaylord all with carries at the running back position tonight. And then Cameron and, of course, Mr. Hastings also having a chance to run the ball. Jordan doing it the best tonight. Faking the handoff, and there goes Cameron Candles all the way around to the 50, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, and a late hit. That was obvious. 18 seconds to go. Hopefully we can just knee the ball at this point as Cameron Candles fakes that misdirection perfectly, gets out of bounds, and
personal foul on the Seahawks.
About 5 seconds and 5 yards late. Hershane. Nothing in doubt at this point.
15
Score
yards will be
has
added to the end
been
of
in
the
Linden's
play.
favor since early in the second quarter. With 18 seconds to go, we'll see if Cameron will just take a couple
First
steps
down,
back,
10
kneel it,
Lions at the Seahawks 14.
and send you home packing. Ball will be marked all the way up to the 15-yard line. Cameron Canales will remain in the game and may get the chance to put an end to this puppy with the ball in his hand. Snap, down, ball game. Make sure you stick around for our Rockfish Grill player of the game on the Seahawks side of things, and no question.
Final
Well,
score,
maybe
Linden Lions
mutual.
47,
Maybe you have to give it to both
Seahawks
Jordan
0.
and Blair tonight, since they both cohesively created such a lopsided margin, but we will have our Rockfish Grill player of the game for the Seahawks as we put an end to this 47-0 rout as the Lynden Lions will be in position to take away the #1 seed against the Burlington Tigers when they meet next week, as they have plenty of momentum on their side following the results of this season, following that 41-6 loss against Ferndale. The Lions have been in control, and they have just been unstoppable since that game. Final score is 47-0. We'll get you our Rockfish Grill player of the game as we close out tonight's ball game and our post-game show as we return with more of Anacortes High School football on the Whale in 2 minutes.
El Jinete Mexican Restaurant in Anacortes has been family run for over 20 years. That's why we take pride in supporting high school football. Our authentic food is prepared with only the freshest of ingredients. From tasty tostadas to delicious enchiladas, you'll find something to love on our menu. Enjoy the best margaritas in town, along with the full-service premium bar. El Jinete. Our name may be hard to remember, but you'll never forget our delicious Mexican food. El Jinete, 509 Commercial Avenue, next to the post office in Anacortes.
Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation offers rehab programs at its location in the Cannery Building near the Seafarers Building in Anacortes. Whether you're recovering from a back injury or stroke, whether in need of speech therapy, occupational therapy, or sports rehab, we're here to help. Call 299-1328. Our staff has more than 200 years of combined experience to get you back to your active life. Visit Island Hospital Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at our beachfront location or call 299-1328.
Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has proudly served the North Sound region for nearly 20 years. But we've never been more excited than right now. That's because now we are Green Built certified, which means our high-efficiency on-demand water heaters, dual flush toilets, geothermal heat pumps, solar hot water, and PV panels, plus wind turbines all enable us to redefine our tradition of quality, value, and energy savings. Thinking green is thinking Right Way Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Cedro Woolley.
Hey, this is Rocky, the Talking Rockfish, trying to find out what makes the Rockfish Grill such a great place.
The food, they use a lot of local, fresh fish.
The atmosphere is great. The people are friendly.
It has great location, great food, great atmosphere, and great people to work in here.
I love the beer. The beer. The beer. The beer.
The great music. It's a local spot, man. This is how we roll.
It's the best family place in all of Anacortes.
Hey, see for yourself. The Rockfish Grill, located at 320 Commercial Avenue in Anacortes.
Another throttling administered by the Lynden Lions. 47-0 is the final. Game was out of reach at halftime when it was 34-zip, but we did get a chance to check out both teams' backups and get more of a conclusive review on what to expect in the future of both teams' programs. But the story basically was written and ended in the first half by Jordan Hastings, Blair Bomber. 3 times those guys were able to hook up with each other for touchdowns. Bomber, 3 scores, an interception, a series of wow, did that just happen before my very eye plays. He was unreal. Didn't even get to see him in the second half, but the memories and the moments that he was able to dish out in the first half will probably leave a lot of people just shaking their heads for a while because of his ability. Hastings, though, 5 touchdowns. Came into the game with 9 touchdowns, leading the conference in passing yardage, leading the conference in touchdown to interception ratio. He increased that. Now on the year, throwing for 170 yards a game with a 3-to-1 ratio of touchdowns to interceptions. At the high school level, that's dramatic, and that is unbelievable. Also helping out tonight's cause, besides, of course, Hastings and Blair, Ryan Cito had a couple of big catches in defensively. Again, there's Creighton coming through time and time again. He was only 7 tackles short of breaking the all-time Lynden Lion record for most tackles in his career. Don't know if he was able to meet that number because of his inability to play in the second half because of the score, but he had about 4 or 5 heading into halftime, so he was definitely close. For the Seahawks side of things, the first quarter was extremely close. It was a very competitive opening quarter with Cody Addison and Alec Mavar routinely meeting for some majorly impressive plays, especially with Mavar coming up with 4 catches in the opening quarter. He finishes with 6 receptions. It was knocking on the doorstep for 100 yards, and for that reason, for the second straight week, Alex Mavar is our Rockfish Grill player of the game. And, of course, Mavar had those 2 interceptions last week. His offense kind of struggled a little bit. Not the case tonight. That's 3 games on the season where Mavar has at least 6 catches or 70 yards or more. He was #1 in the Northwest Conference in receiving for a while, but then suffered that injury against Burlington. Kind of hampered him, slowed him down. The numbers fell a little bit, but still his performance has to be applauded and acknowledged as he comes up with another big-time game tonight. The season will come to a close next week as we wind out our final Whale TV performance, and you can thank Nick Massey along with Mila Latova, Hannah Holgertz, Emerson Sortum, Mike Noah, along with Connie Grimness for making all of our 4 Whale TV performances possible. Mr. Danger Jim Thompson also helping out as our broadcast club advisor. My name is Brian Johnson. We'll wrap up the regular season next Friday, Halloween night at Civic Stadium in Bellingham at Seahome, and Anacortes pregame show at 6:30. Broadcast live from Civic begins at 7 o'clock. For Colin Ackerman back at Whale Studios, making tonight's broadcast also run smoothly. Thanks to Colin, our entire staff, and for the Whale and the Anacortes Media Department, my name is Bryant Johnson. We'll see you again next Friday. Have a great weekend.